is Govs Radio.
Govs Radio.
Okay. Okay, we'll just do that for now.
Okay, everybody. So now, how to get your Discuss account? It's not that complicated. It's really not that difficult as it seems. The first thing you want to do is you want to click on this login button here, and they give you options. You can open up your own Discuss account. You could use your Facebook, your Twitter, or your Google account if you already have it. So if you already have a Facebook account, you should be able just to click on this and then fill out your information for Facebook, and that should get you your account going. The same thing with Twitter. You could open up your Twitter account, and it already opened it up for me. That's what happened. So you see, I clicked on Twitter, and it automatically did that. So now we'll log out. So you could open up your Twitter or your Google account. So if you have a Gmail, you could open it up with any of your Gmail accounts. Okay, and then that will automatically get you in. So if I click on here, it will also automatically get me. It gives me the option, Don Sill to Google. Yes, connect my account, and then I'll pop right there, and I'm in there. So also, let's log out again. So if you want to do a Discuss account, you click the Discuss, and then here you are. You just fill out your information. Yeah, in this case, it was rockmusic@gmail. My password. You tell them if you're a robot or not. I'm not a robot. So then I log in, and then you're in. So it's as easy as that. So there you have it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and we will talk to you later. Thank you.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Live from the Govs Green Room here at the world famous Governor's Comedy Club.
Yay!
Yeah, so welcome. If you're on Govs Radio and you follow the tutorial, congratulations. You figured it out and you were able to do it. Hello everybody. And if you're still on Facebook Live or YouTube, that's perfectly okay. But if you get a chance, go over to govsradio.com and get yourself a Discuss account and join us in the convo. We'd love to have you on. Today's going to be a pretty cool show. Lots of people here in the on performing tonight. They're going in the green room right now. They're going to be trickling in. Tonight's Joey Cola is performing the first show here at Gov's main stage. So hurry up and get here while you can to see Joey Cola. Also, Tommy Gooch is doing the second show. That's going to be awesome too. And then we got Marla Schultz. Marla Schultz is in the house. Govs Radio own. She's our own, right? I would call her our own. And
You don't own her, Don. You weirdo.
She's here in the flesh. I got to meet her. I've talked to her a million times.
It's the first time you've actually met her.
First time I ever met her.
Oh,
in
really?
person.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Can I ask you? She's got a little hotness going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's got what they call Kavorka. She's got the Kavorka.
What does that mean?
What
That
does that
sounds like
even
Kevorkian.
mean?
That sounds like death. What do you mean?
Kavorka is when a vibe. When a girl gives off a vibe.
I've never heard that before.
And you're
Really?
just like...
I like to
yeah,
give her a Kavorka.
It's a Kavorka, man. And you got to say it like that when you say it.
Did you just make up this word?
Yeah, I
No,
think he is.
I-
I think he's making
Kavorka's-
and all this stuff. I don't
Yeah,
know what. I can't even do it. I'm so white.
I know.
I can't even do it.
I told you I found out that I'm not Italian anymore. I'm French. So maybe that's a French.
That's
thing.
right. I heard
he's
that, yeah.
Irish, so you're French and you're Irish,
How
and you,
did you-
and you both thought you were Italian.
I know. I can't believe it.
But how did you not know that? I mean, I've known about your French family for a long time. I'm serious. They used to
Because
email.
Zach is mostly French when
No,
he
but-
did his DNA.
All right. So my ex-wife is your cousin, and that's why we've known each other for almost 30 years. But she used to email with relatives from France.
That's probably, maybe that's her father's side of the family. So,
Oh, is that right?
Her dad's my Uncle Joe. He's also my godfather, but he's not my blood uncle. I love him just like he was, but he's not. And my Aunt Valerie is the blood. And that
Right.
side of the family, my dad's side and Lisa's mom's side, they're all English, mainly.
Okay.
And they love England.
Your father especially.
My
Yeah.
father loves England, and we've been to the motherland a few times.
The motherland.
Yes. I actually have a motherland. Huddersfield, England. Huddersfield
really?
town, England.
Huddersfield.
Huddersfield. And they
All
got
right.
Yeah, and it's a great place. I've been there. We went to the castle. There's actually a little castle there.
A Huddersfield castle.
The castle on the hill. I went
This is
there.
like one of those old TV shows, something where you go check it out, and then all of a sudden you see the painting of the king, and it looks exactly like you. You know, and then people worship you because they think you're him.
Well, there's a town in Connecticut called Sill Town or something.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
so my
this
dad-
has happened.
Yeah, my dad went there a couple of years ago. He
Do
went,
they all have like the hair, like,
yeah, they all have hair like mine.
like?
No, we went to.
But your hair would be great to make a sculpture of because it's so like thick. Like people would love to make a sculpture
What's
of your
thick?
head.
What? She said head? She's talking about
His-
I
thickness?
prefer girth.
His head
I
is
prefer
very
girthy.
thick.
No, but my father went to Silltown and he went to their town hall.
Uh-huh.
And he went to the lady and he threw his driver's license down and he goes, "I'm here."
That's so funny. That's great.
Yeah.
There's in 1995, I was in Detroit, and I was in some mall, whatever it's called, and I was
Yay!
Hey, Tim Gage.
Tim
is in
Gage
there.
is here.
What's up, brother?
Tim
How you doing,
Gage.
man? All right.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
Oh, check it out.
It was
Yeah.
no, it was just
the answer?
the answer is 5. Yes.
The
Okay,
answer
well-
was B.
I don't hear anything.
All right.
Oh, because you're not on yet.
All right, we'll
That
get
would
you
help.
turned on.
Well, because I'm fixing a camera, so
Oh,
hold on.
all right.
There's so much going on here now. Okay, yeah, we're good.
good?
I think we're good.
All right. So, well,
So
first
much
things
going on
first. You
here.
got
Thanks.
to tell us about the hat.
I had a blotch on my face, and I went to a wake, a funeral, and my sisters were like, "You got to get that looked at."
Okay.
I said, "It's been there forever." They go, "Yeah, that's why you got to get it looked at, you asshole." So I can watch the language here, right? I can do what I want to
Yeah.
do.
Absolutely.
yeah,
Whatever
you
you
can.
want.
All right.
Yep.
So I was like, yeah, I'll get it looked at. And then I started getting texts from my sisters. Did you get that looked at yet? Did you get it looked at yet? So I was like, mother, father. So I go down to the dermatologist. First, you have to go to your primary doctor.
Right.
And he looks at it and goes, what the fuck is that? I said, I don't know. You're the doctor? And he goes, well, I don't know what it is. I'll send you to the dermatologist. And it was like cancerous or whatever, and
Oh,
they
wow.
took it off. It was so, the guy goes, don't worry, you're not going to lose a day. But they got to go down and see if there's any inside you. So they had to cut my face open, and there was nothing in there. So I was pretty happy about
Well, yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's
A lot.
good.
Yeah.
So-
that's kind of a given, though. Nothing
Right.
in there.
So
So
it just
good.
ended up being like a benign.
No, it
something
was
or
the
other.
outside was cancerous, but it wasn't on the inside.
Good.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
Good.
Thank
So-
good.
Yeah.
So the nurse was like, listen, the top of your head, you got to get that looked at. You need a
Oh,
full body
man.
scan. So I'm like, are
Seriously?
you in this for the money or is you is? But the thing is when you go to a dermatologist, you see all these old Irish guys, and
Yep.
their heads are fucked up.
We were
You know
just
what?
when you
It's
walked
true.
in here.
It's true.
It's so funny you say that because just before you walked in there, we all did like the DNA thing.
Yeah.
Since I've known them, oh, we're Italian. Okay,
I've
this
always
one
been.
French, this one Irish. Like more
Hilarious.
than Italian.
I've
Hilarious.
been
Nothing-
Italian
I-
for almost 50
Right.
years.
Same
Yeah.
here. Same
Yeah.
here.
Now I'm now
Yeah.
I'm now
I
I'm
got
I don't know who I am.
got Tony a T-shirt that says I'm Irish because my DNA kit says I'm so.
Hilarious.
So anyway, like that's
that-
one of the things. It's like because I'm Irish, and
Yeah.
you really have to be careful. And I
Right.
never really thought about being careful for him.
Well, I did call a cousin because, he
Yeah.
had melanoma and stuff, and he's like, oh, no, you got to get checked.
Yeah.
So then I had to go for a full body scan, but it was a woman doctor at the time. She's like, you mind if I look at your
Peeper?
ass? So I
Oh.
was like, I don't give a shit. Go ahead if that's going to turn you on. And, everything was cool. And she goes, can I look at your genitals? And I said, listen, if there was one mark on there, I'd be screaming here right
Yes,
now.
absolutely.
And she goes, I guess I don't have to look at it. Then I'm like, all right, if there's anything there,
Well,
I'll
when's
be
the last time
here.
your genitals saw the sun?
Yeah,
Anyway?
I know. So, I have to get stuff on the head and wear a
Yeah.
hat. And
How
all
many
that
do
stuff.
they
I know it's
find?
dark out, but what?
Did they find more?
No, but I mean, there is stuff up here that has to be taken care of, but I don't know if the insurance is going to cover it. And I have to get used to wearing a hat. If I don't wear it, then I'm not going to wear it during the day, so I'm going to wear it.
Yeah,
when
and
I can.
sunscreen.
Yeah, I know. I
Like
never
if
really
you're
wore
not
that.
used to it, I just grew up that way. Like I mean, I'm 1,000 years old and I've been wearing sunscreen since I was like 17 because our people just know.
Yeah.
And they say wear
We know how
sunscreen
it's gonna end.
even in the wintertime.
You're killing me.
Yeah, and it is. It's just like wearing clothes. You're sweating. So
Yeah.
I have I have a whole bunch of hats at home.
So when you're choosing a hat, when you went to the hat store, what made you decide on that particular Indiana?
I don't know. It
Jones?
looked nice. Brown goes with the jacket,
Oh, yeah, there isn't a whole Indiana Jones thing going on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well.
Oh, I like it.
I had no idea that you like the fourth person that said that, but that's not what I was looking at. I don't think I saw one Indiana Jones.
I'm with
to
you.
be
I
honest.
saw the first one and I hated it. Yeah.
I was like,
I thought it was the stupidest
know what's-
thing.
You didn't like the first Indiana Jones?
I thought it was the stupidest
I didn't even
movie.
see the first Indiana
Yeah,
Jones.
yeah.
I'm serious. I just don't,
Look, I think you should see. It's one of the greatest movies ever. I loved it. I loved the first Indiana Jones. I had a hat like that as
Don't
well.
listen to him.
Yeah.
Tim.
And
Don't
I
listen
had a
to
whip.
him.
The only Spielberg movie I liked was Duel.
Which one?
Duel, the first
Duel.
one he did.
Oh, his very first movie, the car chase movie.
That was just brilliant. That was his brilliant thing.
He was like downhill after that.
Yeah, no.
Let's all go see
Well, I mean,
West
he
Side.
had what was that guy's name? McLeod. What was his name? Dennis Weaver.
Dennis
Weaver.
Weaver.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was,
Wow, I forgot about that.
He was
guy.
great.
Wow.
We should all go see West Side Story together.
There you go.
The new one. The
Well, yeah, the
remake?
new one. It's
Yeah.
Spielberg. Yeah, so we should all go see that one together.
Who are the actors? Anyone we know?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to find out. Like IMDb.
Rita
that or
Moreno.
something.
Yeah, right.
I think she should make a comeback.
She
I
probably
think
is
she
it.
is. I
She's
think
probably
she
one of
is,
the-
actually. Yeah, I thought I heard that somewhere.
She should
Probably
make a
plays the mother.
cameo.
She
my
still
mother.
looks good
One
too.
thing I hate
she's
about
unbelievable.
Hollywood is when they do fake New York accents. That's my
Yes.
I hate fake New York accents.
I'm
And I remember
with you.
that in the first West Side Story. Hey, you a jet? I'm a jet, Johnny. Let's go at it, man. Where's my pocket knife?
Yeah.
You know, they do all that stuff. I hate that stuff. They should get real New York accents.
Yes, absolutely.
And what's worse than that is a New York actor putting on the New York accent when you already have a New York accent.
Yeah.
Like adding on to it.
Yeah.
I remember that when remember back in the 90s, they made like 1,800 Joey Buttafuoco movies. I noticed that in those
hilarious.
things. All those people had the fake
Yeah.
New York. Joey, I love you, Joey.
Joey.
You're my heart and my soul.
It's like if I do a Boston accent, just so horrible. I think I offend the Boston. Or when I
I
lived in
can't
the
do
South.
any accents,
Yeah,
so I
me
just
neither.
leave it. I just let it go. I always get
Yeah.
yelled at.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do? And I'm like,
Yeah.
forget about it. I'm not even attempting to do it.
So, all right. So I'm going to ask you flat out.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Honest opinion. I don't even know if you were here for it, but you played the other night when I was up there.
I was gone by the time
Oh,
you went
you were
up.
gone. I am not listening to these amateurs. Get me out of here. Truson
No, I
must
was-
owe you a big favor or pay you a lot of money.
Oh,
to do this
absolutely
thing.
not. No, I love going up. It's it's just like the thing is that you don't like I can't stick around for 10 hours and
Because
all that
we
stuff.
all suck up there.
No, I mean I've done that. You know what I mean? I've all
He
you
was
know.
always
Believe
headlining
me,
when I did open mics
Tony.
back in the
Really?
day. Yeah.
The most important, like people always tell me, who should I look at? And I'm like, look at everybody, man. When you're starting out, you look at everybody. I said, I learned more from the people who stunk
Oh yeah.
than the ones that were,
What-
because they would try something different. They would do
Yes.
something. And you're like, whoops, I'm never going to do that.
yeah.
So you're always learning, you know what I
Right.
mean? But I learned more from people who weren't really that good at it, but were trying and, what
Oh, yeah, and I
jokes
give
went
them-
and bombed. And
Right.
which
Give
is,
them credit for trying. and
Oh,
all
yeah.
that.
Anybody, yeah, absolutely. When to get on that stage is just,
The hardest.
yeah, it is.
We had a
It's
guy in the
lot of-
class because with the whole virtual and COVID, everybody,
Yeah.
the whole virtual thing. He wanted to do a puppet thing, but the puppet was going to be. Actually was going to bring out a
Look
screen.
at Don's face. Don's like, did he do the puppet?
Well, he was going to bring out a screen, and the puppet was going to be virtual, but it was a recorded thing. He was going to work out a whole bit,
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
and then fortunately, about a week before our show, he was like, "That's not going to work for me. I'm not doing that." And the whole class said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, you give them credit for having the ideas
Anybody
and
that
trying to work
tries it,
something
yeah.
out.
I mean, not like a lot of people, that take the classes and stuff like that. I always give it to credit people who like, John gets people who like are attorneys and teachers and stuff like that. They just want to know how it's done and how you. And I give people who take it so much credit. They just want to know how it is.
Right.
Like,
they don't want to do
what
this
you
for a living. They're just like, maybe they just want to learn how to public speak better.
Right.
Well,
that's
what better way
the
to do
attorney
it?
was like, how do I? And the thing is, an attorney, you want to get all your facts and all that stuff. With writing a joke, it's as quick as possible. It's got to be boom, boom.
That's exactly what
it.
Truson did for me. I had pages and pages.
Yeah, and it's just like, good, cut those out.
It was
cut
amazing.
that out. Yeah, but it's setting it up. Well, set it up better,
Right.
I remember John and I went up, I'm not bragging, we went to go see Jim Gaffigan down at the book review, and somebody had asked Jim, what's the difference between writing comedy, and a book? And Gaffigan was like, a book, I had to come up with so many more words. In comedy, you want it short. You got to get to the point. Because people, you know how it is, Tony, people trying jokes on you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the worst thing to do is try a joke on a comic that's seasoned, because they're not going to laugh. I don't care how funny the joke is.
Right.
It's pretty much, if they're listening, it's like, okay, that there's something there. There's something, like that's
Like they're analyzing it,
right.
breaking
You
it
got to
down.
chop it up. You got to get it to the point. And if anybody wants to know who's the best at it, it's Seinfeld is the best at it.
He's a
I mean, he just
Wordsmith.
each word has a point. It's there for a reason. Da 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 da. There's no fat on any of his crap. There's fat on my crap because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about sometimes, and I get lost.
You crack me up every single time, man. Every single time you
Thank
crack
you,
me up.
I appreciate
And I
that.
have to tell you, that was one of the downsides of the class and doing that performance, because Ziegler did a set, you did a set.
Yeah,
and
Ziegler really was funny too. I mean,
Absolutely.
you're just like, yeah.
And we're all sitting there like, oh, that's how it's done. So we're like, shit, what's the point of us even going out there at this point?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Well, some people go, one of the girls was like, "Wow, that was really great," and I'm like, "That's 30 years. That's all it is. It's not. It's not that great. That's been doing it for 30 years. A lot of people
seasoned up.
think that like the only one that really skyrocketed and was really funny was Eddie Murphy. That was able to like, boom, go.
Yeah.
Everybody else thinks it's that easy. It's not. It takes time. Like Colin had told me, when you get to 10 years, you're like, wow, I still have so much more I gotta go do.
Right.
When you're doing it the first 3 or 4 years, you think, oh, I can do this, I can do, and you're not even close. You're not even
Colin's
close.
he's kind of like a wordsmith.
Sure.
But he
Don't
approaches
give him
it
any credit whatsoever.
He approaches
I do
it
not.
But he approaches it differently than the Seinfeld. So if you compare the two,
Right.
both extremely smart, both well-crafted jokes, but the deliveries are different. Where Seinfeld, you could almost hear the craft coming out. Where with
Colin, it
sounds
mumbles
like-
out.
It mumbles out.
No,
you feel like he's just literally just coming up with it off the top of his head.
Colin, it's fun to watch him because he's just, if you can watch him on his shows and stuff, he's 5 pages away from what he's talking about.
Right,
Like he's
right.
already 5 pages into what I'm going to be doing later.
Amazing.
And, a lot of times he's not listening to, the audience has no time to laugh. And, I always called him the Albert Brooks of New York. Because you ever see Albert Brooks movie and you go, yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was
right.
good. And then you're laughing your ass off for a month after that, just
Yep.
thinking of these great lines that he, came up with,
a
Albert
great way
Brooks.
to
And
put
you're
it.
like, my God, that was hilarious. That's, what
Yep.
made him think of that.
Somebody
and
that doesn't
Colin's
get
like
enough
that.
credit,
Colin's
man.
like that. You leave, and then like people go, I don't get Colin that much. And then when I do a couple of lines for them, they're like, oh my God, that is hilarious,
Brilliant.
So
Like
yeah,
read
I know it is.
I had the
Don't
audio-
go that far, brilliant, please. I really.
I had his audio book. I listened to his
Oh,
audio.
yeah, and it doesn't even go with the book. Sometimes
yeah.
he's throwing lines in.
yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. Everybody should get that book. But I did see you
that's
do some
fantastic.
acting with him and his.
Oh,
that
Cop
series.
Show. That was Cop
great.
Show
You
was
have to
so
see
much
this,
fun.
The Cop Show that Colin
Yeah.
has. It's a great show. He has a lot of cameo appearances. It's like a spoof type of a show.
Yes,
Tim was
I'm
on
in it,
there.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
And played
Yeah.
like you played his cousins.
Yes, and he just
they all had fights and
berated.
shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's.
Oh, I gotta find
one of
that.
yeah, it's on YouTube.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, Colin was a spoof on cop shows, and it's just absolutely brilliant. And nobody picked it up.
Oh, wow.
Why nobody picked it up, I don't know. I mean, really, I mean, he had everybody in there. Seinfeld. He had Seth Meyers. He had
And
Chris
Norton,
Rock.
Norton
He had,
guys.
you know, like everybody.
How does that
in there.
not get picked up just for the names?
Danny Aiello was in it. It was hilarious.
After he died?
Wow.
Yeah, after he died. No, he was in it, and you know, I mean, just like all these big stars, and nothing.
That's
And
Nobody-
you
weird.
figure Netflix needs material now. Everybody's
Right.
I
jumping
don't
ship.
get it. Yeah, I don't get it at all. But that's, you know, that's showbiz.
But that was a great scene. Everybody should watch that on YouTube.
What's it called?
It's called Cop Show.
Cop Show. With
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Cop Show with
yeah.
Colin Quinn. It's
Write it
yeah,
down.
it's just absolutely brilliant, brilliant.
Wow.
No, that's good stuff. That was fun watching you guys kind of fighting each other and tickling
Yeah, it
each
was
other,
kind of
whatever you guys
it was
would
kind
like.
of improv. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It was
It looked
you know,
real, that's what I'm
yeah, I
saying.
know, but I
It
mean, you went with it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
You just you know, he just came crossing over. Like, what the fuck is he doing? You know.
Great.
You know, so it was a lot of fun doing it, you know, and you know, it was something I thought I would never really experience, you know what I mean? Like, I unload trucks for a living. You know, shipping and receiving manager, and here I am playing parts with Nick DiPaolo and, you know, crap like that, and
Nice.
you know,
So he gets called.
I had to use a vacation day too. That son of a bitch. I'm gonna
Really?
hold that against him. You know,
Well, yeah, you
have to
can't
come
go
back
in-
tomorrow. I'm not taking another vacation day. all
You
right?
can't go in sick because
Yeah,
then
right.
they know. Right?
No, yeah.
And yeah, you really haven't done much in front of acting work, right? Or have you?
Well, I mean, Truson has used me and stuff like that. Kevin James used me with Zookeeper. I was in Zookeeper with Kevin
Oh,
James.
were
I had
you?
One line. It was perfect. It was
That's all right.
he just. I mean, it was out of the blue. It was great. I had a lot of fun. Went up to Boston and did it with him. And
Cool.
you know, he already had his King of Queens thing and stuff like that. And I
Right.
used to work with Kevin out here. Him and his brother and
Right.
Rock Rubin and stuff, and Adam Ferraro and stuff like that. They were a step higher than me, but I mean, I used to travel with them and stuff like that. Whatever they needed an MC, feel like MCing a show, you know, out east at some bar in Riverhead, you know. And you know, from out of the blue, he just called, you know, and said, you know, I got a line. Like,
That's
thank
great.
you so much, man.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
it's,
And
you know,
he's been fantastic with all of his
Oh
projects.
yeah,
he
yeah.
always
he
gets
he
some
always gets
people.
Long Island
Yeah,
guys
if
and
any.
stuff.
Yeah.
He always looks
Yeah.
out for Long Island
Yeah.
guys.
Yep,
You
absolutely.
got to commend him
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So yeah, but I don't like. I've gone to auditions and stuff like that, but it's like
It's
you
tough.
have to. Right, I have a job, so I would like leave work and take a half a sick day to go into Manhattan, and then you walk in there like, nope, you're not good. You know, they don't even ask you to do a line. They don't-
Right.
You're just not what we're looking for, and it's like, you know, if I lived in Manhattan, had nothing better to do than
Right.
run around the places.
Yeah.
You know, you know.
Yeah,
Then you're
professional
driving home in
auditioners.
traffic. You're like, mother, father. I mean, dude, god damn this world.
It is difficult. Like you have at 3:00 you have to pick up your kids or something.
Yeah,
you can't
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
just
waltz into the city,
Right.
and do these
just do
things.
But one time I went to an audition in the city, and same thing. They let me read for 5 minutes, but I could tell in their faces this is not what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, maybe noon, and I'm taking a train back. So it's around 11 o'clock noon, so the train wasn't crowded, right? So I'm sitting there, and I'm just sitting by myself, and I look to my right, and who's sitting on the bench next to me is that guy. That guy
Joey
right there.
Cola.
Cola.
Joey Cola.
I'm telling him about the time I saw you on the train.
Oh yeah. Can I come in and be on the radio?
Yeah, please do.
like he has to ask.
I want to be on the radio. Go ahead.
Sit over here.
Go ahead. Sit wherever
Wherever
you
you
want
wanna
to.
sit.
He's on the lounge chair.
Yeah.
Joey Cola is in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi. Hi.
Look at you. You
These
look.
Saturday night things are great.
I'm all down.
He's fit. He's got a haircut.
Yeah, I got a haircut.
looking sharp.
Hey, should I wear this?
Nah, you don't have
Sure.
to. Or
You
can.
don't have to.
There you go.
Whatever you
All
want.
right.
Okay, there you go. All right. Hello.
How you doing? Everything good?
Yeah. No. I had a flood in my house.
Really?
I just moved my daughter back home because her boyfriend, the fiance, broke up with her. So she came back
I
home.
hate that guy.
I built an apartment in the basement, and my wife, a few years ago, I got the Bell's palsy still, you know. So if you hear me go, pip, 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 that's what that's all about.
That's what I'm here for
I got
tonight.
half a face, no hair. I'm completely a mess. So the flood, my wife a few years ago, I want a water filtration system that filters out every drop of water in the house. You Yeah, of course. So it's got to have a carbon thing and a salt thing, and this thing goes in here, blah, 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 blah. All the chlorinated, all you
the healthiest family in Nassau County.
And we got a reverse osmosis one in the kitchen, too. So we're double filtered. The water, it doesn't even come out water anymore. This air comes out. Oh, air.
The cleanest.
Very refreshing.
So
Refreshing.
It's got a tube, an exhaust tube that goes into where the washing machine water goes. And these idiots that installed it 4 years ago, they put it to the cement wall with these plastic brackets. 4 years, the plastic dried out and snapped. So the tube went, boom, thing snapped, tube falls down, water everywhere. An inch and a half, 2 inches of water everywhere.
Wow.
So I figured, all right, let me just get my pump at 3 o'clock in the morning, pump it into the yard, everything's fine.
You have a pump?
I got a pump, a water pump. Yeah.
I don't have a water pump. Am I supposed to get a water pump?
I got every size Band-Aid you can imagine. Okay? I get the big Band-Aids, little Band-Aids, the kind with the little bing, and I also wrap knee band, ace bandages. I got 2 sets of crutches in my basement.
Wow,
you
you're
never
prepared.
know.
Yeah.
You don't have any spare prosthetic legs.
You never know. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Good one.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yep.
So anyway, the thing pops. I'm there pumping water, all kinds of stuff. My wife says, I'm going to call the insurance company. Call the insurance company. Call the insurance company's like, holy shit. They said next morning, they send a team. They rip out all the walls.
Oh, wow.
A band floor, they ripped up the whole floor.
Holy
they're
shit.
taking wood down, they put a pod in my driveway.
Wow.
They move all the shit out into the driveway, into this pod, into the, like what are you doing? They came in, I feel like I was raped. I was like, oh, my house.
Oh, they just dismantled
What'd your wife
your
go?
whole-
Joey Cola's my husband, and they jumped like that.
Yes.
They s-
Way to slow my story down.
I was gonna say it too.
So anyway, 2-3 weeks. I forget what I was saying.
You got the pod out in the
That they
driveway.
got
raped. You're raped.
Sage came over.
Yeah.
No.
You got the pod in the
Pot
driveway.
is there, the stuff is in there, and they start the construction. All these guys putting up sheetrock and wood and burning the thing, painted, put the thing down. I got a little bit of carpet to go in next, and then that's it. That's done. 3 weeks of that.
Wow.
And then my daughter broke up with one guy, and then she got another boyfriend, another boyfriend. You know. Here's the thing. Anybody listening to this show, if you're a 33-year-old man and your big goal in life is playing video games, you got your priorities wrong.
Oh
I agree.
Put the
with that.
video games down.
Yes.
Get a job, and go to dinner. Go to Italy. Look at the real beautiful things in life. Go to a museum. Create something. Beautify the world.
But that's the problem. They see it now as a job. These guys think they can
It's
make
not
money.
a job. It's an illusion. No one's making money on video games. Oh, yes, they are. I know a guy who made $40 million. Yeah, because he was on Entertainment Tonight for a 5-minute segment. You jackass. It's not you. Yeah, when I started, I wanted to be Seinfeld. Guess what? It didn't happen. It's not gonna happen.
But then you have a lot of people telling you get a job that's comedy thing. No or no?
A lot of people.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you stayed with.
I
it. Look what
listened to
happened.
him. I listened to him.
Yeah, I'm one of the people that told him he was going to have a career. Look at him. He's got a hat. All he's got is this Indiana Jones.
That's what we said.
When he gets a whip, he retires. That's it.
Sean Connery's his father.
But I do agree about the
Hilarious.
video game. How many hours are wasted on these kids sitting in
Wasted,
front of the,
sitting there
there.
doing
Yeah,
nothing.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
most kids, some do make money. They're professional esport people, but
Right.
most
One
of
out
them
of every
are
billion.
stoners just sitting around.
It's
yeah.
ridiculous. You're not going to do. No one cares what your high score
Right,
is.
in the real world, you can't
No
put that
one.
on a resume.
Absolutely no one
Hey, I did
cares
really good in Mortal Kombat.
about, no one cares.
Right.
Is that where you're getting your jollies? Here's the thing. Do you know this year more people in America died than were born for the first time ever?
Wow, really?
Yeah. Because of the pandemic and whatever is happening. But More people die than was born. No one's having sex anymore. No one's having remember the whole goal, the American dream, have a baby, have a thing, be with a get a partner, gay, straight, whatever you are, maybe bring up a kid, or maybe just live a normal life. Culture yourself, educate yourself, learn. Not that I want to put myself on a pedestal I'm doing anything better than anybody else. If that's your thing, that's your thing. My thing is butterflies, birds, I plant plants, I try to beautify.
It's very simple.
I try to beautify the world. It's that simple.
Look at my basil.
Yeah, that's it.
And then, you go to his house. There's my basil over there.
right.
You want some basil? Take some basil.
Now it's oregano.
It's oregano? Fresh oregano.
Matter of fact,
Ooh.
I got Monty coming to my house this week to pick up a bunch of oregano.
You grow your own oregano too?
Oh, he
Well,
grows everything. He's got little things.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
Wow.
I grow
She
the
does
oregano.
too.
I got the. I got it all. I got it all. Yeah, I went last night, 12 o'clock at night. Monty's got me in his backyard going, look at my garlic plant. I thought he had a field of garlic. He's got one garlic. He's got one. It looks like a thick piece
I don't
of
get it
grass.
because garlic grows in your yard naturally.
Natural,
right? Yeah.
If you're not mowing your lawn enough, there's garlic.
You know what I got that's cool too? Scallions. I planted
Yeah.
scallions
Oh, nice.
years ago,
Yeah.
and I let them go in my herb garden. I got this big pot that's above ground. I let them go for 5-8 years, and now it looks like a prehistoric plant. And I got one of those solar lights that go up. It's the coolest thing.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Little things like that. You keep your life simple. Now it's video games and this and that and moving on. Everything's moving too quick. Everybody's got to slow down.
Nobody's
slow
liking
the hell
anything
down.
I said. Nobody likes what I say on Facebook or whatever. I'm not on Facebook.
You're not on
Yeah.
Facebook.
I know.
But people do live and die by the likes.
They
and all
likes
that
and
stuff
what
too,
they
that
don't,
kind of whole
yeah.
thing. Yeah, man.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, there's a delay. Look, I just moved my hand. Ready? Now I stopped moving my hand. And now,
well,
now it's frozen.
Yeah, it's just me though. It's not.
just
It's
time.
not frozen on the internet. It's just.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Me.
I'm about to go
Somebody
on stage
comment.
at Governors in Levittown. If you're watching this, Marla Schultz is up there. Tommy Gooch
Very
is there.
funny girl,
This other
Marla.
guy is showing up. Tirado, Daniel
Yeah,
Tirado
yeah,
is
he's
coming
from-
in here in a second. And you're here tonight.
Yes.
So we got a lot going on here at Governors.
Yes,
I'm going to
sir.
head in
Excellent.
there and take a
Joey,
look at what's
you
going
rock.
on.
Thank you, pal.
Thanks, guys.
As always,
Come on,
as always, thank you, buddy.
I'll see you out there in a minute.
Yes, you will.
All right, take it easy. And
Yeah.
that's it.
And good luck
Thanks.
with the. I'm glad. So the basement's all fixed now.
It's all fixed. It's ready to go. Everything's done.
Crazy.
I got a couple pointed in and that's it.
Excellent.
I got other problems, man.
We'll come back in between the next show. And we'll-
Now.
Yeah, come on, let him go. We want to know what the hell the problem is. Go ahead.
So my neighbors hate me now because my wife is on this big clover lawn click. To grow, instead of growing a lawn, we grow clover. So we bought clover
Really?
seeds and
Oh, I
put
didn't know
that
you
in,
could do
and
that.
it's great. It really is great.
Yeah, but then it gets in everyone else's yard.
That's
right?
the thing.
Yeah.
Well, we got
Yeah.
natural violets. We got these yellow
I like
flowers.
it. I think they're really
I like
pretty.
them too. Hey, a dandelion is a dandelion. Look, on the thing I'm standing, but now I'm sitting down again. There's like a delay. What
Yeah.
they think I'm going to curse or something? Look at that. They got me in
Well,
action. Look at my
like-
body.
it's like
I look like a turtle. I look like a turtle, a hedgehog. What do I look like? I look like the guy in Secret Squirrel. Remember?
Oh,
Secret
God.
Squirrel, the little mole.
Yeah.
The mole that was his
Yeah.
friend. Somebody, how could you? My wife, I owe her money. She has sex with. I mean, I think it was sex. I'm not sure what it was at this point.
So tell us about your lawn. Your neighbors are bitching about
So
the
my
clover.
neighbors come by and go, "Hey, are you going to put anything down?" I said, "No, I'm not doing that. I don't want the poisons. I don't want the fertilizers. I don't want the shit.
Right.
Because I don't know if you read a paper, but it's killing everything. There's no toads. There's no bugs. There's no this. There's no snake. There's nothing around anymore.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, there used to be turtles. I wonder why there's no turtles. Because you're killing them, you dumb motherfuckers.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like
Killed them.
I was actually saying, it was like I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago. Like I look across the street from where I live, and it's this immaculate lawn. No one's over there. I look at my lawn. There's like 12 birds eating worms. There's like
Rabbits.
Yeah,
Yes, actually, yeah,
yeah,
there are.
rabbits.
Yeah, rabbits.
That's
I-
what I'm
rabbits.
doing. My neighbor has been like that. He's an
so
old
I'm like, too bad. So
deadhead
yeah, you have like
guy.
a green lawn.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's got
wow.
all natural stuff, and we raised the butterflies, we got the birds, we got all the nature stuff.
Right.
Worms, the robins come to my house. 'Cause
Yep.
you ever see the robin? He flies in.
Yeah.
They turn their head. They can hear they actually hear the worm.
Yes.
They feel the vibration with their feet, and then they pick the worm out of the
Yep.
thing.
Damn, I knew
I got a lot of robins. I used to be that way.
I've
People
got
used to call my lawn.
cardinals,
They used
finches.
to call my lawn green cake. They go, "Oh, it looks like green cake." Yeah, I go, "I got a good lawn." Are you kidding me? me? Is that what I'm fighting for? A good lawn?
So now he's saying too many clovers.
Too many clovers.
Too many,
Too many clovers.
too many bunnies. Too many clovers.
I turn that bit around, by the way. I say too many bunnies. I don't say too many bunnies. I don't do that anymore.
Oh.
But only because the political correctness and people get now. If someone says to me, "Well, you got to be politically correct in Cowtown," because there's a tsunami wave of politically correct audiences that are going to be in the comedy clubs soon.
Yes.
And if you're going to stand the old ground and go, "No one's telling me what to do. Can't you take a joke? I want to be racist and I want to say this and I want to say that." Well, you're going to be gone in a little while because the people that enjoy that stuff are going away. You could face it. You could not face it.
Agree
They're
with
going
that.
away.
That's
The
the
audience
case.
themselves
You can
are
make
right.
exactly.
Yeah.
So if you look at people that want to stay around a little while longer. I'm 60. If I get 10 more years, it's great. But if you want to stay around a little bit, I want to make that next generation of politically correct people laugh. So I don't want to piss anybody off. If someone gets offended at what I do, I mean, again, they use the word offended. Everybody's offended. But let's say they genuinely are. I'm not here to offend anybody or make them feel bad. I want to make them laugh. So that's why I'm doing that.
It's getting harder and harder nowadays, though.
Yeah.
Because they get offended by
Now
everything.
now I'm offending the grass people, but the clover people love me. I gotta go.
Always a pleasure.
Oh my goodness.
See you later, there, champ. Son of a bitch.
he's
Yeah.
taking it.
I'm not sure if you piss him off or primed him up. I don't know what's going on.
No,
think
Joey's
it's a
the
little bit-
best
No,
when he just goes.
I'm kidding.
When he just goes, forget about
Oh,
it.
yeah,
Just
absolutely.
Let him go. I
Such
can remember
a-
one time
the
he
energy.
came in. It was like a Thursday night. We were just doing a regular show, and he just showed up because he was miserable at home. And, it was like one of those things. We were like, "Joe, you going to go up?" He's like, "Nah, I'm not going up." Thank you. So, of course,
great.
he's going to go up. And, like, "Joey, why don't you go up?" And his opening line was, "Self-cleaning ovens are bullshit." And I fell to my knees. I just fell to my knees because he's like, "All they do is smoke your house. They don't clean anything. It just smokes your house. The hell do we buy this for?" So, and those are the best. Like with his brother-in-law and shit, and
Yeah.
anything at home, and he just goes up and he lays it out.
I
It's
love when he
just so
does that with
funny.
the brother-in-law. It
Oh.
just comes out of nowhere. It's so
I
funny.
never get tired of it.
No, never. so he didn't even have his act that night.
He didn't have his act. He was
fought
just
with his
talking
wife
about-
over the oven.
Right,
and
about
shared
the
it with
oven. It was
everybody.
about, I got to get folding chairs. They're coming for Thanksgiving dinner. It was like, one of those
Just
things.
venting.
You just were like crying. The whole thing, you were just crying. It was like a therapy session just thrown out on the stage. It was hysterical.
Oh, that's great, man.
Do you ever do that? Do you ever just go up there and just vent
yeah.
and just like let it out?
Yeah. But it's scary. It's scary because you don't know if it's going to work or not. Like I always say, they're either going to love me or they're going to hate me. And they've hated me, but sometimes they love you. And then it's like,
Right.
whatever.
And plus, you got, like you said, 30 years of experience and material that if you know that if you start venting, it's not working, you could always go.
You can go back, but I mean,
right.
that stuff out of the pocket.
you kind of get used to. I used to bomb on purpose sometimes just to try to get comfortable with the silence.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Like people are like, what the hell is he doing? And I used to do my father had passed away. Like my father died, and I just there was no joke. There was just, it's just like people are like, what the fuck is he doing up there? But I was
Wow.
just like. It was not. It wasn't the smart thing
it takes
to do.
balls to do that.
Yeah,
though.
but I
Yes.
mean, it was not really the smart thing to do. You should, because I did that before. This is before Brew was big. He was always big, but he went up after me, and I was just like, oh, I want to see what he does, and he just fucking tore the room apart.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah.
holy shit, I have a lot to learn here. This is not.
Kind of like Brewer, his energy, he steps
Oh,
on
yeah,
stage
yeah,
automatically changes the
Yeah.
air changes in the room. I think,
Right.
like
Yeah.
him.
Kind of like
Yeah.
just a minute ago.
yeah.
exactly.
I know, he leaves and we're all like, oh,
Yeah.
poor guy's got clovers on his lawn and he doesn't.
Yeah, what is he gonna do? Now I'm worried about it.
How do you maintain? You can't mow clovers, can you? I mean,
I don't know,
just
can
let
you?
them grow and just leave
Well,
them?
yeah. I mean, it will like take over. But you know what? To me, like I think they're pretty. They're like pretty flowers.
think it's
They're
better than
purple
grass, I
flowers.
think
You know,
so.
who cares?
I
You
might
know?
try
Yeah, no, Joey and I
seen
have
one.
traveled occasionally, and I got it. I got into birds. You know, I have like a bird feeder in the yard.
Yeah,
and
me too.
I'll sit there with binoculars and stuff
Wow.
and look at
Yeah.
birds. It just brings me to the now, right there and then. And you know, my neighbors didn't know. They were like, "What the fuck is he got a problem with the neighbor behind us? He's always looking at the neighbor behind him." So it's like he's always looking at birds, you jackass.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because I want, I really want to get close.
Yeah, I have binoculars all over the place too. And
Yeah,
that's
you
kind of
just-
what. But I
You just watch him,
understand.
and it's like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But I'll be with Joey, and he'd be like, "That's a red-haired hawk." You know, he's driving, and he's like, "That's a red-haired hawk right there, red-tailed hawk right there." And then, just like pronouncing, "That's a mourning dove just flew." Did you see that? Did you see that? And I'm like, "See what?"
I think he's
The
messing
fuck
with
is
you and making up names
Yeah, I
as
know.
he's going
Yeah.
along.
Yeah, I had but it's funny like when you have like really nice feeders out there and the birds like
Yeah.
love it. Like one time I was living on this road and I was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 houses down. The kids are little, so you're all standing in the road with other parents, and this
Right.
one lady said, "I saw a cardinal yesterday." And I was like,
Yeah, they're all over the
on my
fucking place.
head. Like I'm 5 houses down, and I didn't want to tell her. I was like, wow, because they're everywhere, all over my yard.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you not see them? But I think it's just really cool. Like I even
I mean, I think I just experienced, and what is that called? American golden finch.
oh yeah,
They're gorgeous.
Yeah,
I never knew
they're
they were on Long
beautiful.
Island. I had no idea that they were just.
they're beautiful.
You know, they're beautiful. They're just yellow with black wings, and
Yeah, those
like
things
you'd
are-
never really noticed them before.
Wow.
And, you know, you get a
What-
feeder.
How
and
many
you,
birds
and
are
you see
pretty sick though?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
rare,
You're
I don't
like,
see
wow,
them a
what
lot. And
a
when they do, you're like, holy shit!
Shit.
It was
Yeah.
just
fucking way, and that's it. They're just like out of it.
I have I don't have it anymore, but or I haven't. They may be moved or whatever. But I had mockingbirds in the front of my house, and there was one nest of mockingbirds, and
Oh, they're
my
brutal.
kid plays violin, so I'm not even shitting you. One day I'm like,
Oh, yeah, I'll back you up on this. I remember this.
I was like, listen to this mockingbird out front. He's playing what Kevin's been playing.
No crap.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Impersonating it?
he was imitating.
Well, it's either Kevin
Kevin's-
stinks
Yeah. Yeah, right. Well, yeah.
Maybe Kevin was copying the birds.
A couple of years ago, Kevin did stink,
Yeah.
so it really could have been both. Yeah, but I
No,
just thought
that's
that was the coolest thing.
interesting.
Like I always thought it was like, just made up that mockingbirds will,
Well, at
but
work
it's
there
true.
was when you were saying there was a nest and everything, because at work there was a nest somewhere, and the bird were coming out attacking people who got close to the tree. They would,
wow.
they'd swoop by. You'd be like, "What the fuck?"
I got chased
You know?
by a duck once.
What?
Really?
Really, like a mallard, like a green mallard,
those white ducks, the white ones, like the big ones.
doves,
Oh,
or
no.
so
I mean geese.
Yeah, like a geese.
Yeah, okay.
And then or goose. And anyways, it had a line of little.
But yeah, oh yeah, you can't mess.
Oh yeah, they'll get
Yeah, and
mad.
it was like, ah!
Yeah.
And I was like, ah! And I'm running, and there's people, like, we're at a park, and there's people like, watching and laughing, like, look at this guy. I'm like running.
He
down-
tried to attack me.
Yeah, it's like, ah!
Yeah.
He really was chasing you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they get
On
mean
the
if you go
golf
near
course,
them.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Go
close
after
were
you.
you that?
I was walking, actually, it was so long ago. My daughter, Caitlin, who just turned 30 today, she was
Yeah.
a little girl at the time. That's how long ago it was. And I went to, in my mind, I was young. I was going to pick up one of the chicklins.
Oh,
And
Oh, no,
And
no.
all of a sudden that thing went.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I used to do a routine with that at work, because we had them at work, and you're not allowed to touch them.
Yeah.
'Cause, I don't know if it was a sales guy or one of the head guys came in and parked, and the geese went after him, and then he ran into the maintenance guy and was like, "You got to get rid of the geese." And they're like, "You can't. It's they're
protected.
They're protected."
Yeah, right.
And he's like, "Yeah, but that's my parking spot." You know what I mean? Like, I was fucking crying. And then they're like trying to get the guy, because he's like, well, there's really nothing you do. I don't know how to handle geese. And they're like, well, go ask Espaldo from El Salvador. He worked on a farm. He might know how to get them, like all this racist crap, to worry about.
Parking spot.
Put a sign on the spot for the
my
next day.
parking
This
spot.
spot reserved for
My parking spot.
geese.
Yeah.
I stopped doing that joke. I don't know why, but, probably because it was making fun of people who,
Yeah.
who were nervous of geese, and that's wrong. You shouldn't make fun of
The geese
people up
community.
there.
Yeah.
That's like I was saying, like Joey touched on it. Are you finding you have to change your set around?
I don't try to change it because I hate every race, and I've never tried to hide that from anybody.
Exactly.
I mean, even my son's friends just know that but I mean, to do it on stage, I don't want to, because I used to say the N-word, on stage.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Back
yeah.
in the day.
Back in the day. I mean, it didn't look.
What the?
Get those
Wow, we
visuals.
gotta get that whole we gotta get
Oh, way to upstage me, you son of a bitch.
You never know what
Yeah.
you're gonna see here at Govs. We just
Yeah, no,
I
I
have
try to, but I mean, like, I don't want to.
I just got a
try
hard
to,
on though.
I know, we all did, but I mean, I'm an observational comic. I just see what it is, and
Yeah.
when where I work, we have a lot of immigrants, but they're the most racist people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
yeah.
Totally, and I do it on stage, and it's people like, oh, he shouldn't talk like that, and I'm about those people, and I'm like, no, they're talking about us that way. What do you
Yeah.
mean talking
Exactly.
about?
Yeah.
But
you
it's,
could still do it. You could still be racist and edgy if you're in character. So if you go, my neighbor the
I-
other day,
I'm not- I'm
and
not-
then that guy's racist.
yes,
It's
but
not me. It's my character.
right.
Right.
Or even
that was-
like
that was-
Jackie Martling, like he's like there's not any race I don't pick on. He
Oh
goes-
yeah,
he
but I
goes,
mean
"As long as you
Jackie's
pick
not
on
that way.
everyone."
Jackie's not a racist.
Right.
It's just jokes that he does on top of jokes, and it's always been that way.
Mm-hmm.
And he's grandfather claused in too. Don't you think some guys
Yeah,
are grandfather
sometimes.
claused?
No,
no, you
no,
don't
he's
think-
great grandfather.
yes, indeed. But some
Probably
guys
one of
get
the
a
sweetest
pass.
guys in the business
he's
too. I
awesome.
mean, when he was on Stern and stuff, I think I opened up for him at Chuckles, and people were like, "Oh, he's a real pain," and he was not. He was
No,
a
he's not.
charm,
He's
the
great.
nicest guy, and all this other stuff. I think it was just people who were jealous of him at the time. you
Yeah,
know, they were like-
probably.
Yeah, 'cause he was hot, like on the Stern
Yeah,
show,
yeah.
selling out everywhere he went. Just doing
Yeah, but he's a very funny guy. Very
he's
funny guy
awesome,
off
yeah,
stage and
yeah.
stuff. So.
Yes.
But do you think some comics do get like a grandfather clause? Like they can still stick to their old act? and
Well, I
do
mean, I
something?
think they're all gone. I mean, Don Rickles could stick to his act.
Right.
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
But
it just
you know,
has to be
I feel like
funny,
Lampanelli's woke
you know?
all of a sudden.
Who?
Lisa Lampanelli. Feel like she got woke all of a sudden.
yeah, she's out.
Yeah.
But that was she saw what was coming and probably figured, what am I gonna do? Write a whole new act and change? Because I think that was. I think that's what happens. People, they have a character, and they do something wrong, and it's, well, it's the character, and then they try to change, and it just doesn't work, and they're done.
Yeah.
Stick a fork in it.
Did she? Yeah, she walked away, right?
She retired.
Yeah. A buddy of mine, Kenny, up in Connecticut, was doing some local regional theater, and she was in the play with him.
Yeah,
He
she's
couldn't
very
believe it.
yeah.
It's the Queen
Oh,
of Mean.
right. I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
The Queen of Mean herself.
So you don't think about it at all? You're not worried about people complaining or something?
Well, I mean, I don't.
His
That's the
act
last thing
wasn't-
on
Yeah,
the
that's
last thing
true.
on
You're
earth
not
I
that
want to
bad.
do is offend anybody.
Yeah.
But I mean, people when I do my son with ADD, they're like, "Oh, he shouldn't be doing that," and I'm like,
No,
"No,
I love
you don't
that bit.
understand."
Yeah, so do I.
You know what I mean?
And
Like
we
whatever.
both have
and
kids like
dyslexic.
that.
I mean, like that's the whole idea. Is to. I'm observational. I'm telling you what my life is. This is
Right.
what it is. This is what I see. This is what the school sees. This is what the doctors see.
Right, and that's the thing
this
right
is,
there.
but
You're not putting them down. Like you said, observation.
It
You're not
depends. I mean,
insulting
when
them.
it comes to me and my education and growing up, like I do the thing with parent teacher night with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
kid.
Mhm.
That's more as telling the school that they still don't know what they're doing.
Right.
right,
But it's done in a way where unless
not
you're really
insulting-
thinking. Like some woman came to me and said, that was really a great joke in the way you did that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
That
because you're
was
not
really
putting
good.
that community down or your son down.
No.
You're putting the school down.
Right, I'm putting down the
That's what I mean. You're
system
not-
because
yeah.
I'm dyslexic, which I've said before.
Yes.
I didn't learn how to read till I was 21 and all that other stuff and everything. And when my son went to school, it was his fault. He had ADD. It was me. I wasn't paying attention. I was lazy. I was this, that, and the other thing. And, to this day, they're still blaming it on children. It's not the school system's fault.
Right.
It never is. You know what I mean? It's the kids.
Right.
So that's kind of the point behind it, So I try to keep it at that.
Yeah, I think that bit means a lot to a lot of people. Because
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, how many
First time
teachers
I
have come
heard
to me and
it-
said, "Oh my God, that's you really hit it on the head."
You
Yep.
freaking nail it, and it's
Thank you.
almost like it's like when you get like if it's happened to you and and you're someone who could bring it out on stage where like I'll be listening to it and it's great when you can't decide to like laugh or cry at the same time.
Right.
Like
Thank
that.
you. Yes.
Then it's
Yeah.
just it's a warm-hearted. You really touched on a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
I loved that bit.
Thank you. No, it's and that was years of working on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just always.
And that's the thing, like sometimes the comedian needs to say the stuff that the people are thinking but can't say.
Absolutely.
And if they take
Right.
that away from us,
Right. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Colin's that way. Colin just paints this picture where, what was it? Red State, Blue State, his last one that he did.
That was great.
It was in Manhattan, and you were like, oh, geez, the Democrats are going to be a little, because he puts down, he just says, this is what you're both doing. And so many people have gone up to him and said, I didn't know if I'd like what you were saying up there, but it was really good. You hit it right on the head.
Yeah. He does clap
And
on the
you're
head,
just
doesn't
like, wow, So that's, but again, you don't know, who you're going to offend. You don't want to offend anybody, but you want to just put the truth out there. I mean, people don't want to hear the truth. And, that's the, that's what you want to do is kind of,
Right.
my key isn't to offend anybody or have people hate me or, I don't think that's any comics.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? I don't want to be hated.
Yeah.
You just want to be understood, I guess, or something, and throw it out there and see what happens. So,
But I think the days of like cringe humor, Dice Clay, that whole genre, I don't know if we'll ever get those days back again.
well, you can't because it's been done.
Right.
yeah.
Like
Right.
I still laugh at like Bill Burr, because he goes
Yeah.
at women, and I think it's so
he goes
funny.
at the culture itself. He
Like
everything.
He's fearless.
But he's so funny, and you're like, he got a point.
Yeah, right.
The Golden
That's the
Globes?
whole thing.
The best part
Not
of
exactly
Oh,
that.
the Golden Globes with Bill Burr. That was the best
Oh
part of
yeah,
that whole,
I didn't see
that whole
it.
show.
I didn't see it. I didn't even. I don't know much about Ricky Gervais, and I watched Life After
I
Life.
love that.
Afterlife,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, this
Great show.
motherfucker is good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I looked up his the Oscars when he did
Yeah.
the Oscars. I said,
Yeah.
let me see what he really said, because it was like, oh, he was great. And I'm like, yeah. But then I said, wow, this son of a bitch is
Oh
funny as
yeah,
hell.
man. Yeah.
He really just.
He's
I think their heads are still spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they bring them back all the time too.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
destroyed them. It was
Yeah.
great.
We had the
Yeah.
girl that plays on Afterlife, the dead wife. We had her on.
Yeah, we are
Really?
on his.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She was
great.
great.
She was
Gold, something
brilliant.
gold.
She's great.
Everybody in that show is
and
brilliant.
she's a fantastic stand-up comedian too.
Yeah, okay, great.
Carrie
Yeah,
Godley
she
did.
is. She's really. She's
Oh,
very
yeah, yeah,
good.
she's a
Because
comic,
we brought her on just because we loved the show, and Tony will like throw out these emails, and every once in a while someone would be like, "Sure," and he's like,
what
really?
the fuck?
I know.
Like,
Kevin Pollak
was
just a
that
few weeks ago wrote back to me.
Oh, really?
I hope.
That'd be awesome.
I'm praying.
Kevin Pollak used to do the club here.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah.
And I believe Trusin picked him up at the Garden City Hotel.
Wow.
So Trusin is standing there waiting for him, and he comes up. He's got a baseball cap, and he goes, "Well, you and I are the only ones that look like we don't belong in this hotel, so you must be picking me up."
That's classic and true.
He should have did his Columbo
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah. How funny was he in that joke thing? That what was that? the Aristocrats.
Oh yeah.
Oh God!
What a
It
great
was
movie.
That was great, man.
so
Yeah.
funny.
Love that
so
movie.
funny.
Have you ever seen it?
No.
Yeah,
I gotta
it's-
show you that
it's
movie.
Gotta
great.
watch this great documentary. Aristocrats
Yeah.
about
And
a
everybody's
joke.
in it.
Otto and
Yeah.
George and Gilbert just take
Oh,
it
Gilbert.
a whole level.
Gilbert's the man, like with that stuff.
You know, but I mean, Otto and George, I thought was absolutely hysterical.
Yeah.
I don't know how he'd be doing that.
Oh God. I don't know which one we get canceled. What a dummy.
Yeah.
You know. But I mean, like, you know, those are the guys you can see, and you know the joke's coming. But when it's done, like Gilbert, I don't know. I would say Gilbert. I'd rather see him bomb than do well because it's funnier to me watching him bomb.
Because
It's sad, but it's you know, as a comic, you're just in the back. You know, because I've seen him do it, and then he comes out the next show and he kills. You know, and it's just like, there is nothing funnier than that. You know,
they created the term "too soon" was because of him, his 9/11 joke.
yeah,
That's right. Yeah, I yelled out
Yeah.
"too soon."
Right.
He
Right.
did 9/11 joke like a couple months right after 9/11.
Yeah, no, I had one too with the. You know, I thought maybe it was a Kennedy that went into the tower and stuff. It wasn't. It was only a couple of weeks after, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, you know.
And that's kind of like, that's what's so difficult about being a comic, I would imagine. Because, like, as the rest of the world is just taking something in, like, you people, you got the joke, like,
Well, I mean,
that.
like when Michael Jackson
And
died.
then when do you bring it out?
Michael Jackson died like 5 p.m. or whatever
Yeah,
it was.
right.
I went on the brokerage that night. I go, I guess that oxygen tank didn't really work. So everybody's like, "Oh my God!"
The body's still warm, man.
Yeah. Well, that's when Sam Kinison died. Was it? No, it wasn't Kinison. It was. I forget who died, but the luggage didn't come up, or they couldn't find the luggage. But Ray Romano went up, and he's like, he didn't even die on the West Coast yet. He's like,
That's funny. That's really funny.
That's great.
That's great.
you know. But I mean, like that's, you know, those are the things we're gonna go. They're either gonna hate me or they're gonna, you know,
But
they're
you
gonna love
can't
it.
not, like, how do you wait?
You
know,
but you don't know what to do.
Because
I mean,
then someone else might come up with it.
yeah, no,
So
absolutely.
it's like really difficult, and you might. I mean, after you're so used to being funny like this, you must be like a Pez dispenser. It just comes right out, and you have to hold it.
No, not it does. Sometimes it doesn't come out at all. But no, when it does come out, you got to sit there and go, you know, is it? Do I want to do it? Do I want to try it? You know, what's going to happen? And
Well,
you know,
when Kobe passed, what's his name? What's his name? The comedian who straight up said something really negative about Kobe, and that now the Lakers are, you know, he always hated the Lakers. And he went off. What the hell's his name? But that dude got a lot of backlash. Got like death threats.
right?
Like even Godfrey.
But he's sold out.
Yeah, I think he's
The Mohican Sun, four shows in a row.
Can't think of his name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he right after the death, like, dude, minutes after, he goes online and does this whole thing. He's laughing and just mocking it.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
no,
Yeah. So it pissed off a lot of people, and he was getting death threats, and people were distancing themselves from them. Other comics were coming
Oh
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not friends with him anymore.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't-
exactly.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Ari Shafir. He's the one
Okay,
that said-
yeah, all right,
He's the one
yeah.
that said something. Yeah. It just popped in my
Never
head.
liked that guy.
Yeah. I do not condone what he said. I love Kobe Bryant.
You know. No, but that's one of the things. Like, you know, you do try to be you got to be standoffish. Who you're with, who's going to be whatever, and all that other stuff, which stinks. You know.
I feel like some of the Manhattan comics, some of the cliques are still staying firm with the edgy comedy and not, they don't want to budge.
I have no idea who you're talking about, to be honest with you. I have no idea who's in comedy really now.
Yeah.
Colin's always yelling at me, "Look at YouTube, you asshole!" You know, because he mentioned this guy's name. I'm like, I don't know who's that. And he's only got 3 HBO specials and a fucking Netflix, and you don't know who the guy is? And I'm like, I don't know who he is. I really don't care. He doesn't know who I am.
Well, maybe use that to your advantage when you don't know this stuff. Or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
way you stay out of it.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like to get into the bickering and all that other crap that goes with it.
who does?
Yeah, exactly.
Who said what, and this guy said this about me, and
So you don't even
Except
go-
for Joey Cola, I really hate his fucking guts. I'm glad he had a flood in his basement. You have no idea.
You got a whole new basement out of the deal, though.
Yeah, right.
know.
The
Yeah,
insurance
right.
company
Not
came in.
bad.
I'd like to know what insurance company he had that did that.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
How that whole thing can be covered.
Probably
I know.
Stanley's insurance company or something.
Right.
And it only took 3 weeks. Yeah, a whole new makeover.
So you don't go into the city anymore. You don't do any of that stuff.
But no,
anymore?
I mean I'll go in when Colin would do stuff at the what is that thing around the corner? I forget the name of the cellar, but around the corner there is the Village Underground. Yeah, not the Underground, the Village, the fat black pussycat in the back. And I'll go in and check that out and just hang around and stuff and see what's going on. But I mean, all the auditions. I think I passed at Stand Up New York, and then like 3 weeks later the booker changed, and then I had to audition again. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Da 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 da. So I stopped going in then, and then I didn't pass at the cellar. I didn't, but in a way, I'm glad because I don't have to drive in, and like I'm the type of guy that worries. Like if you have a 9 o'clock spot and it's 8:30 and I'm still going through the tunnel now, it's like, what the fuck? I don't
I'm
want
the
to,
same way.
and it's just I don't have to deal with that. I'm not that funny. I'm not that funny. I didn't pass, so I don't.
But it's funny you talk about auditioning and stuff, because now it's all, and you mentioned YouTube. It's all YouTube now.
Oh, absolutely. It has nothing to do with comedy. It has nothing to
Right.
do with it.
And
But I'm not. I mean, if that's how it works, then that's how it works.
all right, that's
I
what
mean,
I was
that's the
gonna
way
ask
I
how you
look at
feel
it.
about
Like
that.
Dane Cook, everybody was all pissed that he's not that funny. He steals jokes. He does it. I'm like, yeah, but the guy's selling out everywhere he goes,
Right,
and because he
right.
did it with MySpace.
MySpace, yeah, he was
So
the
I
first
mean,
to hit a
like more power to him. What the hell,
Sure.
But I mean, that's all it is. If you can.
so
make
it's just a different way.
yeah,
of-
you're
yeah.
getting your shit out. You know,
Right.
people are, like
think it
I
might
have
be the
so
new
many.
way now.
Right.
Tony, I was at work and my boss was like, "You got to see this guy. He's freaking hysterical." It's like, all right, and it's Vic DiBitetto. I'm like, "Oh, that's Vic DiBitetto." Just as soon as his face came up,
Yeah, sure.
you know this guy? I'm like, yeah, I spent a week with him in Vegas, doing shows. You worked with this guy? This guy's hysterical. Da, 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 da. And he's, off and going. Now, Vic, I love. I've known Vic for years. And,
Sure.
but I mean, more power to him.
Bread and milk,
You're all
man.
happening.
Put it
Bread
on
and
the
milk.
map.
Right.
You know what I'm
on the
saying? I mean, whatever works. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, I
exactly.
mean,
Yeah.
and he is so thankful for what happened to him and all that other stuff. So that's great. I think it's great, so.
But do you worry, or I don't know about worry, but do you think guys are, because they make videos, that they're not honing the craft of stand up?
That's a good question. I mean,
And don't get
am
me
I
wrong, I
honing it? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, stand-up
it's
changes.
Well, you are
Stand-up-
honing it.
Well, but I mean, stand-up has changed. You know what I mean? Like, it used to be, joke. Then it was, like,
Conversation.
then Pryor came in and, like, Carlin and stuff
yeah.
like that. And, that's how they did it. They were doing jokes. They were wearing a suit and tie, and then they changed and they brought it comedy a different way. So this
Always
might just
evolving.
be a different way of
Yeah.
doing it. I don't know, what I think is funny and what they think is funny is,
Yeah, true.
And
It's
the
never
edge
been
of
that
the-
way.
The
I mean-
advantage is that they have built-in audience. So if I build a YouTube audience, or like Dan Cook, or you have 1 million people that are follow me, and then I go on stage and those people show up, and they like me already, I already did half the work. in
right.
less than time.
Well, I mean,
Sure.
a lot of them. Tom Jones put it the best. Believe it or not, I don't know how that I'm bringing this up, but Tom Jones said that he felt sorry for people who won on America's Got Talent because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Right.
They're going from singing in their yard to going in stadiums into Coliseum, singing at the Nassau Coliseum.
Right.
And he goes, I used to do shows for World War I vets, and I had to sing songs they wanted.
Right.
To have them like me. And once they liked me, I was able to do Elvis. I was able to do the songs I wanted to do. And I learned how to work a crowd. I could tell when I can do it, when I can't do it.
Right, read the crowd.
He goes, these guys are just being thrown out there. Yeah, you're making money, but other people are making more money on top of that, you know, whatever.
Right.
Whatever, whoever is making money on it, you know, you get an agent, but you know, like Tom Jones said, you gotta earn, you gotta pay your dues. You gotta know what the
That's
hell
exactly it.
you gotta how to pay your dues, and that's what's happened with people at YouTube is that they become, you know, like let's put it this way: if Anthony Rodia, very funny guy, all this
Absolutely.
other stuff. You know, if it was Tim Gage or Anthony Rodia to close the show, it's going to be Anthony Rodia because he can bring people in through the door, and that's how it works.
Sure, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's more power to him. But I mean, like that's how it works. So that's how it is. I don't want to go on. I mean, I was years ago when I had a video camera. I was going to do it. My son was 10, and I was going to do me driving with my son, my gangster son.
Right.
Next to me, and his friend coming up to me and talking to me, and my son dealing drugs to other people while I'm talking to his friend, like, oh yeah, I know him, and my other son's like just going like this, you know, like I don't know what it would have been like in 2000 when I was thinking of it, you know. People would have been like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's having his kid selling drugs in his car, you know, and like, you ready to go, son? Yeah, I'm ready, Dad. You know, like, you know.
You're like, no, it's funny.
Yeah, but it's funny, you know. But I mean, like, I never did that, you know what I mean? So, I mean, like, but I mean, I've had thoughts of stuff, but I mean, you know, that's where it's going, and that's what people are doing. They're trying to make videos. They're trying to get people to follow them.
Well, yeah, and Rodia's the exception, and he's a smart guy, and his stand-up is great. But there are a lot of these guys that they're now doing videos, and they're not honing the. I mean, maybe it's the new normal,
tough.
but
it's tough because they're gonna have to get somebody like they got to do 45 minutes or an hour of
Yeah.
stuff to keep a crowd going, and you got to have it. If you don't have it, then you better bring some funny people on the show, and you come out and do a half hour or 20 minutes.
Sure, right.
Yeah.
And even
Thank
now,
you and
YouTube's
everything.
getting saturated now too.
Say what?
There's so
Yes.
many. YouTube is getting.
Oh, yeah.
saturated. There's so many, like even podcasts and stuff like that. There's so many out there that just it's saturated. It reminds me of the '80s boom when there was just so many TV shows and comedy. Hey, it's
Right.
A&E Comedy Hour. And
Yeah, this
millions
one,
of those-
yeah.
And then there was too much, and it did the opposite of what you wanted to do for comedy.
It does. I mean, that's what I'm saying. The big change is coming.
Yeah.
What it's going to be, I don't know. It could be, you know, videos like you said, or people,
Yeah.
you know, following this guy. And there are some talented people on the
absolutely,
video.
yeah.
There is no
Yes.
doubt about it. Anthony Rodia and there's another guy in Staten Island that I work with, really great kid, and I think that, you know, he's got some really great stuff online. But I mean, you know, if that's how it works, then that's how it's going to work. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, like,
It's like holding back a tidal wave. You're not going to be able to.
yeah,
But
and
keying in on a niche too, like if you have a niche market, like with Rodia, the Italian
Right.
people
Right,
gravitate towards him. Is that how important is that, or do you want a full encompassing audience, or do you want the niche audience?
well, you know, that's you want the one that's going to bring you money.
Right. Whatever
When it
fills
comes
the
to that,
asses
it's
in the
what's going to
seats,
bring
yeah.
you money. But I mean, like my boss really could relate to Vic DiBitetto. I mean, just his uncles and, you know, the way he grew up, and, you know, his father was from Italy, and just, you know, like he could just. Vic just hit it on the head with everything that he does,
I'll
and
tell
his
you,
screaming and yelling and all that
That's
other
the
stuff.
thing. That the Italian audience, they're loyal, man. I mean, they did it with Sebastian. They do it with Vic. They do it
Now
with
that
Anthony.
they're not Italian anymore, it's they.
Right. Well,
Now that we're not Italian
About a
anymore,
month ago, we'd be like, this Italian.
we stick
We're
together.
loyal.
Now the French-Irish
very
guy
loyal
over
people.
here.
Yeah.
I was once
Hilarious.
amongst that tribe, and they were very nice human beings.
Yeah.
They love comedy.
You know, I do know what you mean though. Like it was a few weeks ago, and it was governors had. I mean, they had the patio. They have the big stage here, and one of the people here it was a YouTuber, and like just me walking by, and he just looked so lost in the green room, like he'd never been in a green room.
It's intimidating.
And he just and I was just kind of feeling for him, like I
Yeah.
was like hoping he was going to be okay up there, but you could tell like that he was not experienced.
So what did
at
you
all.
do? What did you do for him?
I just gave him that look, like, "Are you okay?"
And then he cried in your arms. right?
Do you
Do you want to look at my birds?
Come on
Wanna
in.
look at the birds in my lawn?
You know what the Cardinal would have done?
Yeah, right. Yes, but that's the whole thing is that, you're going to have to learn. And it's, like when I started, there was you had to know your place. If you pushed yourself, like, I didn't run up to Joey Kohler and go, hey, I really think you're great.
Right.
I just waited to meet him alone, you know what I'm saying? And you got to know your place. And these guys have no idea where their place is. Yeah. I don't know where their place is.
Right.
I don't know who you are. And I don't, like, I feel for them, too, because you're going to be thrown into with the Lions.
Yeah.
Once you're on that stage, all stand-ups are equal on that stage, and then the audience decides from there
whether or not.
Yeah. No matter how many experience you have or whatever, once you're on that stage, you're all the same, and that's the pro and con of stand-up. Mm-hmm. Like Seinfeld was always like, this is the one occupation where you go up on stage once and you can call yourself a stand-up comedian. You can't do that if you're a doctor.
No. Yeah.
You can't go on the OR one day and come out and go, I'm a doctor.
Well, I mean, like. I used to really, I didn't realize what the craft really was until Seinfeld was talking to Larry Sanders. What's his name?
Larry Miller. No, not Larry Miller.
No, Gary Shandling.
Gary Shandling. My son gave me a thing on Gary Shandling and Larry Sanders show with CDs and stuff, and he was talking to Seinfeld at the end, and they were in the park, and Seinfeld had said, he did routine. He goes, he didn't like people that came up and said, I really didn't like what you did up there. I didn't think it was funny. And he's like, who the hell is that person to tell me? You write 5 minutes of material and go up and perform it. Then I'll listen to what you have to say about my doing that. And it just blew me away. I was like, holy crap, I do have some, power there. You know what I mean? Because, exactly. I've been in therapy forever, but I mean, I used to go over that with my therapist. I said, I could perform for 200 people. Everybody would say that was great, but one person would be like, he wasn't that if I heard that, I was fucking crushed.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
We talk about that all the time in here.
Yeah.
You focus on that one guy.
The one negative thing.
Yep.
You just, and, that has to do with everything else about growing up and all that other shit. Right. Because you had 299 that had a great time. Yeah. And you don't know what that other person, could be getting divorced. Her husband's fucking cheating on him.
Absolutely.
And you don't know what the hell is their problem, but you're letting that one, bother you.
Right.
So,
and that's a common
So I take
feeling.
heavy medication to...
And they always put that person in the front row.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That happened to me one time. It was not... some woman was looking at her husband. And I had a panic attack, and I left the stage.
Oh,
wow.
really?
If it wasn't for Mike Yard, I don't think I'd be doing car. Do you know Mike Yard at all?
Yeah, I know who he is.
He's just absolutely hysterical and probably one of the funniest guys around. That guy should be a game show host. He should be making billions of dollars. He's just great. So I felt like, oh, my God, I had this panic attack. So I'm like, Laurie, you're going to have to come out here. Laurie Parmentari comes out, and I go in the back, and he goes, what's the matter? I said, I don't know, this woman up front looking at her husband, and I'm getting a panic attack. And he's like, are you serious? and I'm like, yeah, I'm dead fucking serious. And he's like, that's bothering me. Are you serious? And he kept saying it, and it just fucking knocked me right back to the point, the moment.
Right.
And I went back out. I go, Laurie, come on, I'm okay. I went on, finished my show, and I had a great set.
Oh, wow.
And people at the end were like, that was great. That was set up, wasn't it? And I'm like, oh, absolutely not. I was fucking petrified and all that stuff. But Mike Yard just took it a whole new level. Because after I did my set, Mike went up. And he just looked at this woman and goes, why are you scaring Tim Gage? and I just fucking fell to my knees.
Are you serious?
My hand to God. It was the funniest thing
So he gave you like
so
a metaphorical
funny.
snap back.
Yes.
I wonder what it was. Like, what do you think it was?
I don't know. It was just I don't know. It was like just one of those things where I just... was not in the moment. My brain was going other ways. I didn't feel comfortable. I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna, all that stuff. And I just all while you're up there, and I'm like, I got to get out of here, which I never really did before. But just Mike Yard said, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm fucking serious."
What did you say to get off the stage, and how'd you get back on?
I go, Laurie, and I open the door. I'm like, I'm on the stage here at Governor's. I open the door. Laurie, come on out here. I can't fucking do this. I'm sorry. I can't believe I'm telling you guys this. And and I just was like, I don't know what it is. And she came out and she just started going into doing her shit. And then Mike is fucking laughing at me in the back. And Mark Lund, who used to be here, was great too. He comes in, he goes, all right, don't worry about it, Gage. Mike, I'm gonna bring you right up, and you're gonna. I'm like, I'm okay, I'm all right, guys, I'm all right. And I just said, Laurie, I'm good. Bring me back out. Yeah, oh fuck, it was hilarious. But I mean, David,
you need somebody like that.
Right? It just snapped me right into it. I mean, James did that too because I was at the brokerage and they had one of the agents had all their people that they. That are in their group or whatever, and we're making these films to show to other agents to get them work. And I was emceeing the show, and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta fucking bring these people up because I like to fuck around, this one raped his mother, but he's here tonight, and I couldn't do that. I had to be really professional. I was really like sweating before and all this other stuff, and I was nervous. And James Dolce comes out and he goes, we really fucked you up on this one, huh, Gage? I just fucking busted out laughing. I said, go ahead, start the show. I'm ready. I'm ready to go,
He's great.
Yeah.
Well,
Laurie's great, too. Like, Laurie is like, she just...
Yeah, she just took
so
it right there.
Steady.
Yeah.
I just always really liked that about her.
No, it was good. But, I mean, even David Tell did that to me because I'm not a type of... I'm not the MC that goes out, how's everybody doing tonight?
Right.
I go right into my routine. I do my stuff. And I'm in the green room with David Tell. And he goes, Gage, you don't say anything to the audience, like any birthdays or anything. I'm like, Dave, I just try to do my stuff and get off. He goes, it's a real I like that. It's a real interesting thing. So like 35 minutes into David Tell's set, he goes, folks, I don't want to tell Tim Gage how to do his job.
Oh, no.
But how's everybody doing? The audience has no idea. I am in the back of the room, pounding the floor, laughing, just dying. Awesome. And the audience is like, what the fuck are you talking about?
He should say, how's everybody doing?
That's
any birthdays? There any birthdays out there tonight?
And he's here next week, right?
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah. He's always fun.
Long Island's
He's always fun.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing him.
Oh, he's so good. Wow. He's another guy I could just watch, just sit there and watch because you just, I know the joke's coming, but it's just so goddamn funny, And there's always something new with him. There's always something new.
Involving it.
It's amazing to me.
And he makes it look effortless too because he just comes out.
Yeah, I mean that was before I did stand up. I saw. Damn it.
That guy.
Damn it! I had his name, Paul Reiser.
Oh, sure.
All right,
Yeah.
and he did a place in Colmac. This is before his Two Dads thing, but he was really good.
Yeah.
And I watched him, and I was like, "Oh, this is nothing."
Yeah.
So I finally get to meet him once in the green room for about 30 seconds, and I go, Paul, I saw you here 25 years ago at Governor's, and he said, are you a comic? I said, yeah. I said, but when I saw you, I wasn't, and you made it look so easy, and I want to thank you for pulling the wool over my eyes. Because effortless. I mean, and I think he wrote a book, and then he came out here to
like fatherhood.
Did his show out here, and he hadn't been on stage in a while. But like a duck to water, man. I mean, it was just like holy crap.
Yeah, I agree with that. He just seems like it's
unbelievable. It's
like,
so easy.
Yep.
Just all you got to do is tell the story.
Is he still doing it? Do you know?
Yeah,
He's back?
He doesn't go to clubs and do it. But I mean, like he wrote the book. So I guess he did whatever, but I mean, he was coming to clubs and selling his book after it, and all
I
that
met
stuff.
him once at a book signing, early 2000s, and I was trying to do, Stuttering John style, like ask him silly questions about diner and stuff.
Really?
And he
be the last guy I know.
He literally looked up at this big dude that was standing next and had me escorted out.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like,
I'd probably have you escorted out too. You know what I mean?
A tape recorder. I'm like, so tell me about Diner, man. I love that show, and I forget all the questions, but I was going on about the movie Diner.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I really did.
Oh, it's
yeah.
brilliant
yeah.
movie.
And at first he's answering some of the questions, and then I forget what I said. That was my stuttering John move at the time, and that's when he gets. All he had to do is look at the guy. And
That's
then,
all he did. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
well, that's probably the sign.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the sign. You
So
know?
then
What's Helen look like naked? Probably something.
right,
Like
right,
something
something
along
stupid
those
like that.
lines,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But I'll never forget that. But I still liked him. I never held it against him. What's up, Mario? And I never held it against him. I always liked him, and
Yeah.
because I knew I was being an asshole, so
Yeah.
deliberately. And but that was my one polarizer moment, and I blew it.
You did big time.
I loved his stand. You just got lost in his story. Like you
Yeah,
forgot
no,
you were
it's-
even
You know,
watching some. You're just like,
Yeah.
like it was just so
He is
interesting.
like
Yeah.
a master storyteller.
I was
Yeah.
actually talking about him the other day with one of my kids, and how the bit that he has about electricity, and how did it go? Like someone from another world or planet came in, and he was like the last man left, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're left." Like, how'd you figure out how's electricity work? And he's like, "You just hit the switch." No, but how's and he's like, "Well, you live there, right? How did you live in a house with electricity? You don't know how it works." And it was just so interesting. It just made you realize how stupid we all
we
are.
don't. We just take for granted just flipping on the
Yeah.
switch.
You know who was
Yeah,
that
he was
way
great.
too? Rest his soul, Richard Jenny. Richard
Yeah,
Jenny to me was
genius.
just
Yep.
so great.
It's amazing. His name comes up whenever there's a comedian here. His name comes up all the time.
Yeah. Well, he was just unique,
Yep.
different, and really talented.
Yeah.
And his stuff holds up today. If you
Yes.
watch Richard
Oh,
Jenny's
absolutely!
comedy,
I
it's
tell
still-
anybody
yeah.
that's in comedy that what should I do? I'm like, look up Richard
Yeah.
Jenny.
Yeah,
Look
man.
up Paul Reiser.
shit, it's gotta be what?
Stay away from Colin. No, 'cause you don't want to go that way.
It's got to be almost 30 years, right, since Jenny passed, right?
At least 20. Yeah.
Oh,
At
yeah,
least
yeah,
20.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Flies, man.
Yeah. No, it stinks. That was a tough one.
Yeah, I bet.
So-
I bet. Wow.
Crazy stuff, man.
So, all right. So, what are you doing? So, you're not going up at all tonight, or are you
I
just
don't
hanging
think
out?
so. Right now, I'm just hanging out.
That's okay. I'm glad
No,
you
what
are.
happened was
complaining.
that I believe a group of 12 people were coming into the little room that we were going to have, and you can only have 16 people in the room.
Right.
Canceled. So they moved the 4 other people in to see Joey.
Oh.
And then
That
the
makes
headliner over there, and I was like, listen, don't worry about me. Because
Yeah.
James I'll be up, whenever. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? It's not.
Yeah.
So, the headliner is what? He's just performing with
He's
Joey?
With
or?
Joey, yeah. So that,
And what's
think it's
his
a
name,
great
the
job.
headliner's name again?
I don't know. He's from Toronto. That's all I know. Which
Yeah.
Yeah,
which
we
I
were
have.
talking.
I did Toronto 20 years ago, 20-something years ago, and I had so much fun up there with the comics. They were just so funny, and every night I was out. They had no idea who the hell I was, and we just had so much fun.
That's what I've heard.
You know.
I've heard a lot of comedians talking about they love performing up there.
Yeah, it's
It's a great
just
city,
so
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they
like
were
New
open
York,
to
like-
anything. I mean, I was at burlesque places and no transvestites and stuff. It was just it was
See?
so much fun. We just had
Yeah.
a fucking blast everywhere we went. They were like, "Oh, you got to come down here 3:30 in the morning. They have this other thing," and I'm like, "Are you shitting me?" And they're like, "No, it's fun, And you're just laughing your ass off at half the
Nice.
crap, So.
That's awesome. Yeah, the nightlife is great over there. I was in Toronto a few times, just chilling, and it's great scene over there. Great nightlife, man.
Oh,
They
yeah,
got
yeah.
It's a great city. That's cool. You should go back there and.
I think the club that I work doesn't exist anymore. I think Zany's is the. I don't know, but I. I had a 2-week gig that I took 2
Wow.
weeks. I had 2 weeks off from work, so I had to take the 2 weeks then. It was not good, but
Do you get a lot of that? At work, with the Vic thing. Do you get a lot of? Hey, do you know this guy? Do you know that guy?
Yeah.
And I'm sure the Colin thing.
But
too.
then they're like, "Why are you unloading trucks? You know these guys?" I'm like, "That's fucking way."
Oh, at that point, yeah, I have to admit, I asked the same question once I started to get to know you. What the hell's he doing? and in all honesty, in all seriousness, you do belong with.
Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. But
Absolutely,
I mean,
man.
you wouldn't tell me that during COVID. Right now, I'm the genius out of all of the comics that weren't working during this. They say, I wish I
Yeah.
had Gage's job,
Right.
Yeah, I
But
bet,
yeah.
Yeah, that
But
must have been
yeah,
tough,
no, it's but I don't play it up like. I never told anybody who was on Zookeeper. Like the guy in the machine shop's like, "Hey, were you in that Kevin James movie?" I'm like, and I walk over, yeah, I just did, what did you tell us? Like, what am I gonna do? Run in there? I got a Kevin James movie. No, it's fucking.
I got just 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, I got that and I tease Sallie all the time. For my birthday this year, she got me an appointment with the dentist. That was my
Yeah.
gift.
It was
Well, that's
really,
good.
it's meant to be thoughtful. It
is. That's great.
And
Yeah, it was wonderful.
I thought it was the greatest gift. Like a whole deep cleaning thing.
Right. But
Like,
he's
I
got to
thought
get
it
a
was gonna be
COVID.
amazing.
He's got to get a COVID
So
shot.
I told him, like, I walk up to him, like,
Oh yeah, man.
I'm like, guess what I'm gonna get you? And I'm still in the.
You're all happy and excited that you
and
did this.
He starts laughing. I'm like,
So I'm in the middle of getting this deep cleaning, and I'm in pain. I'm sitting there.
Yeah, they stick things up your gums.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh,
awful. And it's at SUNY Farmingdale, so it was one of
What was
those
it, student?
student things.
Oh, hilarious.
I was there for
Fucking
5.5 hours. I'm there.
fucking hilarious.
So I bring this
He
up.
was.
Did you ever
Well,
see
they-
Keith
they-
Anthony's bit on that? It's fucking
no.
hilarious.
Really, yeah?
He went to Stony Brook,
Yeah.
Okay.
And he goes, you get the students, they come in and they're going through the file like, how are you? Like that.
Yes,
they're
that's
just going
exactly
through the
what
fucking.
it is. That's exactly what goes on.
They're learning the bedside manner.
Right.
He told me it would
Keith
be
Anthony
2
did it. I was
hours.
crying.
But the reason I bring this up, I'm laying there, I'm in pain, and my face feels like it's all twisted.
Right.
And one of the professors comes over to see how the student's doing, and they're pointing at this and pointing at that and picking and
Oh
chopping.
my God, hilarious.
She goes, and so the student says, yeah, and did you know Mr. Walker? He works at Governor's. And immediately the professor stops. She goes, I love Rodea Show. I've seen the Rodea Show. I've seen you guys. I love Rodea. I'm like,
Oh, hilarious.
Did they all sing you
That's-
happy birthday?
that's-
The drill. Happy birthday.
He had like so much
Hilarious.
blood loss
yeah.
that
I
he
was
like
dizzy.
he came home with tubes of toothpaste that they gave him to like stop bleeding.
Oh my God.
And they told me
honey.
they told me it
They
was-
ran out of. They went through 2 boxes of gauze.
What?
No shit.
yeah, he was like
But it's you. It's not the
tortured him
student.
for his
It was
birthday.
you. It's not. If you brushed your teeth better, you wouldn't have
Yeah.
this blood.
yeah.
And that's why
Hilarious.
she gave you that dentist appointment.
Yeah.
It's like, please, this is the only way we
But
get
his
to go.
teeth are so white now, so I still stand by this gift.
Yes.
Yes. Stony. Where was it again? Not Stony Brook.
SUNY Farmingdale.
SUNY
SUNY
Farmingdale.
Farmingdale.
No, fucking Keith Anthony's joke was just so funny. Going in there.
And of course Cosby with his dentist
Oh,
stuff.
Yeah.
I hope you were satisfied.
Yes. There's a fiber in my bubble. and that too. We were talking about that before. Distancing yourself from guys who are tweeting things. Can you guys appreciate Cosby still? His material?
I appreciate early Cosby stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a fan. I was a fan. Absolutely.
yeah,
that
that's
to me,
special.
that was
Himself
just
was
observational
genius.
stuff, And I kind of knew, like maybe, he consulted with doctors. He knew, the psychology behind a lot of
Right.
this shit, and
Right.
it just was really, really good.
amazing.
Unfortunately,
Yeah. Right.
Like,
it is what it is.
Theo
You know what I
Ewing's
mean? That's
like,
a shame.
I love Mr. Huxtable. I love him. He's the best. Bill Cosby, piece of shit.
Yeah, no, that
good.
was,
That's
yeah.
funny.
But I mean, like that's, stuff that was said behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like, oh
Right.
yeah, no, he's not that. And you're like, really? You gotta get? You're kidding me?
Yeah.
So
We started
that's-
losing people with this righteous stuff, when they.
Well, that's the thing that
pissed
pissed me off. Is
yeah.
Right.
he would always, you're gonna respect me. You gotta, this and that and the other thing, and you shouldn't address me that way. And all that other stuff. And it's just like, what the fuck?
Once he lost the comics who knew all these stories for years, that once he lost them, then they were like, all right,
Yeah.
You're on your own.
Back now.
Yeah, we got you.
and then the rest is history. The guy's sitting in prison, making the prisoners laugh.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe,
what's
maybe
going
not.
on, guys?
Shut the fuck up.
You ever making punch in a toilet bowl?
Yeah.
Tastes a little shitty, huh?
You sounded kind of like Seinfeld there.
Yeah, it's like a Seinfeld Cosby morph. That's why I don't do stand-up anymore, Tim. That's why.
That's why.
You were there. You were
That's
at
all
one of my last shows ever. I think I told you that story a year ago. But you were at one of my. You don't
Really?
remember. Yeah, it was in Stony Brook. And
Stony Brook.
Stony Brook had like a little.
The rat color?
Sod
The rat
Sarawana-
cellar?
Yeah. That shit.
That was a great band they had there. I used to dig that band.
Oh, the band that played. Yeah.
Yeah, that jazz band or whatever, Zydeco or something they were called.
Yeah,
They were
It
great.
was like a band that would play.
Wow,
and
wow,
tables.
you really go back far, man.
Yeah,
Jesus, no wonder why I don't remember you.
Yeah, this was late '90s, early 2000s. I went up.
Well, people always do that to me. You don't remember me, and I'm like, I meet so many fucking
Yeah, of
people.
course.
It's not like
Disappointed in me. You actually gave me the look of disappointment.
really.
Yeah, we made eye contact.
He's talking about 5 minutes ago.
Did I have to go up after you? Did I go up after you, and you did?
You were going up,
Pussy-
not right after me, thank God.
Oh,
There was a couple.
I'm
guys,
sorry if I made you disappointed.
No, you gave me a look like oh, Jesus.
I really can't. I can't really defend myself on anything. It's probably true.
But
And,
to your, also, you warned me not to. I was drinking. I had 2 beers.
Oh yeah,
and you're like,
yeah.
what the
You
hell are you
can't,
doing?
yeah.
Don't drink
Yeah,
this."
no, that's to me is like, it ain't gonna happen because
Yeah.
you're thinking if I can let my silliness go and all this other
Right,
shit.
loosen me
Hey,
up.
It just
Right.
makes you.
hey,
dull.
having fun up there, huh? What did I say? Where did I go? What do I do? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
amazing to me the comics and musicians that they drink, and when someone becomes sober, and then they say, you should at least, try it. Like I remember reading that Dave Rahl, I can never say his name, the
Dave Grohl.
Grawl. Yeah, like he has like a certain amount of alcohol that he has to drink before he goes on stage, and then other people will be like, well, why don't you just try it once without, or comics are like that too.
Yeah.
That was interesting when Kevin Downey
No.
told you guys that.
Oh, yeah.
that
So,
he
so Kevin
paces
Downey-
himself with his-
Yeah, but I mean, like that's to me that's what you need to perform. That's what you need to perform. But I mean, like you're going to rely on that. If you don't
Right.
have it, it's like a pitcher that has to play with the sandbag, a couple 3 times and then throw it down. If he does
Yeah.
2 and throw it
Yeah.
down, he's not going to be able
Right,
to pitch.
yeah.
All that other shit. It's it's just a game that you're playing with yourself. I mean, I know a lot of comics that drink before they go on, and that's to me is their problem. Not mine.
I remember you telling me because I came into the line. There was like everybody was waiting on like a line. All the comics were standing almost like single file, and I came over there, and there was a comic who was a boxer. I forget his name, but
Gary Cologne.
yes, Gary Cologne.
Yes, the best. He
Yeah,
was
I love him. I love that dude. And he did that crack baby joke all the time.
Oh yeah.
He like do an impression of a crack baby. He's like, "Mommy!" It was like this.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
so
He
fucking
does
funny.
it great. But Gary Cologne and me, we hit it off and we were friendly. And so I just showed up to this show. Sod didn't want to put me up. Gary said, "Put him up." And you were there standing around. And then I had the beer. And you go, "What are you gonna drink both of those before you go up?" and you kind of threw me off because I
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah."
Now I don't say a fucking word to anybody.
I was like, "Is this what we're supposed to do?"
I'll say, go ahead, go up and fucking bomb. I'll take your stage time away. Go ahead.
Dude, I bombed so bad. And Gary was like, one of these.
Yeah.
He's like, I vouch for this fucking guy. Man, yeah, that was good times, man. And, the longest drive home ever from
Oh
Stony
God,
Brook.
there's nothing worse than bombing and driving home. It's a long ride.
Especially when
It's
you're
a
new
long-
to it.
Oh yeah, because you don't know what the hell happened, where
Yeah.
you went wrong, whatever.
Absolutely right.
But to me, it separates the men from the boys in a way where if you can't handle bombing like that, then then it's like Darwin. It sifts you
Yeah.
out.
Well, I mean, like growing up dyslexic and failing all the time in school, failure is something that I am kind of used to. But my humor always got me out of trouble in school and always got me with kids that were older than me. They liked my humor. They would stick up for me and all that shit. So in a way, I always knew I had humor.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
That was the only thing I had. So I'm gonna go with it and see where the hell it happened. I was
Yeah,
in
yeah.
therapy and it was like 30 years old, and he's like, "What would you do for nothing?" I'm like, "I don't know. My humor used to." And he was like, "Try an open mic," and that's what I did, and that's when I
Wow.
That's when I got hooked into that addiction.
Were you doing it Did you do it before Colin, or did he
No, Colin was already established. He already had
like remote control and all that?
remote
MTV,
control
yeah.
he had and crap like that. And I didn't bother him. I just sent him a tape and said, should I keep doing this or not? And he was very supportive. He was really, really good.
Wow.
You know, but I didn't bother him for years. I knew he wrote for In Living Color and all this other stuff. But if I needed something, I could call him, which was good. But it was pretty much he had told me, it's yours, go. You know, like he said, the gravy train is over. You're not going to make money the way I'm making it, because this is like, when you had, MTV, Half Hour Comedy Hour, A&E Comedy Hour, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's all fucking nuts, but you got something. I don't know what the fuck it is, and it's up to you to do whatever you want with it. And so for like 12 years, it was just me trying to, go through and see what I could do, and da-da-da-da-da. And, once in a while, I'd see him at a funeral or something, at a family funeral, and just touch base with him. And, then when he had Tough Crowd, Carrie Carabas kind of was like, why did you have your fucking cousin on it? It's funny.
Yeah,
like Carrie
great.
just laid it right on
Were
him.
you on that? Did
You
you
know,
get a spot?
yeah, I
Oh,
was, and, like, even with that, then he went with Saturday Night Live, and then I was able to send some jokes to him on that. And,
Nice.
That was...
Does he ever critique your stand-up? Any advice?
he gives me advice, like
cut
you
this.
you can't say that, like, don't tell him you work on Hop Hog, Long Island, because they don't give a shit. Just say Long Island. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the thing is that 99.9%, and I'm not going to say 100% because that'll fucking only spoil him. He's right.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he's right on the money. Like, why would you say that? That's too long, or you know what I mean? But he doesn't say you shouldn't say that. There's a joke where I had my boys. I know what fuck it means. I don't know if anybody saw that. I've been married for 20. I know what hate is, and I also have 2 boys. I know what fuck it means. And he goes, if somebody put that on my desk, I'd throw it right in the fucking garbage. But somehow you doing it, it's fucking funny. He goes, I don't know what the fuck it is,
Yeah.
but I'll get stuff like that,
That's
like, you try to help him. There's you really can't, he'll listen, and if he wants it, he'll take a joke from anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, if he hears something and bump, 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 he's taking it. He's not that he's stealing from other people.
Right.
If he hears somebody, say something
Right.
that's funny,
Yeah.
that goes with my routine.
Right, it'll work
It's
in
more
there.
of a gift from the gods,
Right,
the
right,
comedy
right,
gods to him. But he'll do that. I don't try to, like, I've been with him on all of his specials. Long story short, the Red State, Blue State, the fucking damn it, I can't remember them all, damn it. But I've been with him during those things, and I don't go, you should say this, you should say that. No, there was a thing in Red State, Blue State. He said fucking Wyoming, and I was like, do you have to say fucking Wyoming?
Right.
And him and the guy that he was writing with, the guy that was helping him write, just look at each other, and I said, fucking Wyoming gets the laugh, doesn't it? And they said, yeah, shut the fuck up. We tried Wyoming, it doesn't get the laugh. Saying fucking Wyoming, it gets the
For some
goddamn
reason
laugh.
it works.
So that's
how I'm
Unconstitutional.
unconstitutional. Yes, that was a lot of fun too. But there's something before Red State, Blue State was New York Story,
New York Story.
which was great.
That was the
fucking
best one, I think.
Yeah,
That was so
New York
funny.
Story is so.
When he talks about like waiting online, he's like, "Just know your order."
Yeah, right. The
that's-
German deli.
Yeah,
come on,
yeah,
let's go. Let's go.
yeah.
Time. And that's the thing. If you do that now, they might get offended by all that stuff. But that's just him. This is my childhood. This is what I
Right.
grew up with.
Right.
And like he said, in the German deli, when we were kids, we'd stand outside and going, "Hi Hitler!" I've done that. And out on Long Island, we've been.
Right.
You at
Right.
the Jewish place, and you're like, "Hi Hitler, Hi Hitler." Like, I don't know who that is, but that's all right. That's the way it was. My kids would be like, "Wow, that's really fucking offensive, don't you think?" I'm like, "The
Cancel,
fuck,
Dad."
you kidding me?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You always called somebody by what they are. Like they would call you, one leg Tony.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Like that's the way that's what you were called. You weren't. So
It's funny. I wonder how it's going to go. Like my kid took sign language a couple of years in college.
Okay,
and
cool.
one of the things that I learned from him is that in the deaf community, they'll do that. Like they don't want to spell out everyone's name, like TIM.
Yeah.
So they'll find a feature or something about you, and that's what you're stuck with. Like you don't even get to choose. Like you could be like ugly fat guy. Like that's your sign, and your whole family will call you that. It's the craziest thing. So I always thought that was like really interesting.
Yeah, no, it's
Like, what are they gonna
Tony,
do
have you ever performed
right now?
in front of deaf people at all, or they have them here at sometimes? At,
Well, you know, I haven't performed in front of deaf people, but we were here one night
Yeah.
when there was a deaf crowd out there, and everybody that was coming back, I remember Keegan was one of them. Actually, Joey was here.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how it was so weird because you say the joke, now you have to wait for the interpreter.
And then they do
Right,
this.
right.
So they're
you know.
they're talking about the next thing.
Yeah.
About 30 seconds in, all of a sudden they're hearing laughter.
right. Yeah, it's a little off,
throwing
but it's
them off.
yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
But it made sense. to
Yeah,
me.
no, but it's good to hear
Like,
laughter.
and we actually caught it. Like me and Tony like stood like just inside of Governor's while we were watching it, and because we were watching the other comics like come back in, and they were a little freaked, and they were like telling us like yeah, just like really threw us off. And then we go out there and we watch Joey.
Oh, just
And
left, just
Joey-
destroyed.
Yeah.
Joey,
totally.
like the interpreter, like they switched out the interpreters,
Yeah.
like all the time. And there was this woman interpreter, and she was doing, and all of a sudden Joey caught an eye with her, and he has her doing work with her, like that bit where he has where the turtles,
Yes.
and she's doing it with him, and I'm like he just makes it look so easy.
They started
Yeah.
dancing eventually, like
Yeah.
just doing all sorts
Yeah.
of weird hands.
Well, I can remember the
thing.
thing with mine was I had the joke that I would roll a joint the size of a 1973 Ford Country Squire station wagon.
Yes.
And the woman is like this, rolling the joint. and I just looked at her and I just started cracking up. Everybody in the room was just.
That's great. That's so funny.
So yes.
And speaking of which, what is that? Like, what's been one of your tougher crowds? Is it like a deaf community or special needs or kids in general or
Special needs?
Old
No.
people.
I mean, teachers are a pain in the ass.
teachers?
Yes.
Really?
I don't know if I should even say that. Yeah, because they talk.
Oh my God! I
it's
can't
just-
believe that you said that.
Yeah, they
I don't mean
talk.
to interrupt you.
Yes, but
we
they're
were
the
doing-
center of attention in class, and they're not the center of
Right.
attention now.
No matter what you
I'm
were
not saying
gonna-
all teachers. I've had teachers come to me and said that was a brilliant thing what you did, like that paid attention. But if they say, it's teachers union and they're all teachers and everything, I'm like, we're fucked.
Yeah, whatever you were gonna say, I was gonna say yeah, and they talk a lot. And because
Yeah.
we were doing a murder mystery once, and it was just in front of teachers, and there were so many of them, and they just wanted to catch up with each other that no one could hear us. And finally,
Yeah,
Tony at the end, Tony just started to instead of doing his lines, he just started going. Wah, 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 wah,
And-
wah,
and nobody
no
gave a
one
shit.
noticed.
Nobody-
There was one.
And then, all the other actors are just cracking up
Yeah.
listening to Tony go womp, womp, womp for the last 5 minutes.
And she's right. One person. Everybody
Yeah.
else was just talking away.
And there were 200
I
people
forget.
out there.
I forget. We were doing something at the brokerage. It was a benefit for some, kid, and it was a band and stuff, and I had to go up in between the band, and
That's the worst.
it was horrifying.
Yep.
So I forget what I said. It might have been something offensive. I have no idea. But one woman was like, and I go, thank you, lady. I know someone is listening. And then I hear Andrea that works here
Yeah.
Yeah.
crying, laughter,
Right.
just falling to her knees.
Right.
She thought it was the funniest thing she ever heard. Thanks, lady. Finally, somebody's listening. But I mean, I've had, we had one time we had cerebral palsy, and some of these kids were in wheelchairs, could speak and all that, and people coming off the stage. This fucking crowd sucks and bing, you know, and it's so and you know, they're like, there's too many wheel people. So I go up there and I go, folks, you know, there's a lot of people with wheelchairs in here. Boom. They loved it, you know. Yeah. Some kid on the right, you know, he had this Mets thing, and I'm like, you know, you could play second base for the Mets now. They have nobody there. You know, this guy just, it was just tons of fun. Yep. And, you know, like it made me feel good that it was able to do that.
Yep.
Right.
But, I mean, I was just like, you know, guys, you know, they're out to have a good time. That's all they want. They're just human beings that want to fucking go out.
You can't
you know,
do your regular material for special crowds. Right, you have to adapt to them. You got to play for them, like you said, Joey.
Somewhat, but I mean, a lot of them, like Joey Cola, would just go out and do his shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, but
if you go up there and go, they're not going to get this. They're not going to get this. They're not going to get this joke. They're not, because you're not. You have not. You got to go out and sell it.
Right.
You got to go out
Plus,
and
with
sell it.
cerebral palsy, like it's not even a brain thing; it's just a body thing. So they understand every single thing.
Right. Well, I mean, like when I
Yeah.
told that guy you could play second base for the Mets because they had nobody.
Right.
You know, the guy, he was in a chair in his hand, but he was fucking crying.
But that's exactly it. Like you said, because their brains are fully functional.
Yeah.
They're like you said before, one leg. Like it's the same thing. They're cool. You know, they've accepted it. They've lived with it.
Right.
They're willing to talk about it and make the jokes about it. And so they love when they hate, you know, being ignored. And,
Yeah.
or
Absolutely. I mean,
being awkward.
they were all
being talked down
like
to.
down to right.
Yeah, the bus
Right.
came. I mean, they probably have no the families, but I mean, like they're all in the same place, and
Right.
this is their night out. They're
Right.
enjoying themselves.
Right.
They want to
Right,
enjoy
'cause
themselves.
That's the bulk of with the murder mysteries. We do a ton of fundraisers, and we've done a lot of shows for.
Yeah, we did.
People like that
We
and
did
cancer
for
patients.
cancer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Like
I
when
mean-
I first, because you know he's been doing this for a really long time, and I just do sound for his show. But like when, like he was like, "Oh, this is for like everyone out there has cancer." I'm like, "Oh, fuck." Like this is
Yeah, I
gonna be like
know.
really hard, and they had such a great time. You know, they just laugh for the first time in months. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, no, there was a guy that used to book Sloan Kettering. We used to do that on occasion. It was tough, but I mean, you know,
sure.
just again, you just go up and you do your shit, and you hope that it's gonna make somebody laugh. You know, under the circumstances that they're in. You know.
Man.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
There's some heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you go out there,
What?
you know, you got to go out there and deal with a crowd with cancer, and make them laugh. Sometimes.
Oh yeah, no, I mean like we've had that. You know, I mean you never know what you're gonna get. I mean I could say it, but I don't think it's really appropriate for this show. You know, I mean they have like you know the picture of the child who passed away on stage, and you're like. You don't mind if I move this, dude? And the audience knows exactly what you're talking about. Though. Yeah, go ahead. You know, like, it was,
Hard to
you
get
know,
people laughing.
yeah. I don't need the child that passed away stand. You know,
Yeah.
a picture of him behind me while I'm trying to
And then
be
when the
funny
crowd's
and stupid.
Crying and, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time
Yes.
for some comedy. Let's bring in
Yeah.
That's
Tim Gage, everybody. Give him
That's
a hand.
I've been brought up that way. You're
Yeah.
just like, oh Jesus Christ, where am I going to go from here? You know,
Yeah, that's like.
it's not. You know, comedy's not always fun and games. It's,
It's like it's a challenge, right? How do I get out of this one? Is
Yeah.
Rubik's
My
Cube.
6-year-old daughter who was shot.
yeah. You're
Ladies and
just
gentlemen,
like,
Tim
you're-
Gage.
yeah,
Tim
you're-
Gage is gonna come
A
up.
moment of silence and a prayer,
Yeah.
please. And then after the moment of silence,
Right.
all right, now is everybody ready for the
Yeah.
comedy?
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the comedy stylings of Tim Gage. Tim,
Thanks.
come on up, please, guys.
Yeah,
come
but
on.
you got. I mean, Joey Calder's been through that. I mean, we just, you know,
Yeah,
just
no,
that's
that's-
all.
Again, that's when you separate the men from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
boys.
It's got to be whatever. I
How's
don't know,
everybody
it's-
doing tonight?
It's not always men. I know a lot of women that have to go up and do comedy too. I always hate that when guys, you know, when people say women aren't funny. I'm like, oh no, I know a lot of fucking funny women.
There's
man.
a funny woman out there, Tom?
Yes.
Marla Schultz.
Yes.
Is out there playing the one and only Marla.
You know, but I mean, there's a lot of funny women, and you know, I just don't think that's fair. Funny.
Oh, absolutely.
I've always lived on the funny is funny. You know,
Yes.
Yeah,
you got
if
it.
funny
You got
is
it. It's
funny.
not.
100%,
It's, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, like because I'll hear women be like, "Oh, there's not enough women comics out on the thing."
But that's
like, you
'cause
know what?
you're not doing something that's
Yeah,
original
if you're
and doing.
complaining that you're not up there because you're
Yeah.
a woman, then you need to, I don't know,
Yeah, 'cause-
buckle down.
Right. I mean, I could, you know.
Because
yeah.
the women that are out there, they're not complaining, you know, because they're funny.
No, they are, and that's you know, and I you know, I know a lot of them, so it's not like
Yeah.
you know, it's not a boys' club as they say.
Right.
But Colin always says that now. Nobody wants to see two old white guys on stage. So am I out? Am I out? Is that what you're trying to say?
As you're not performing anymore.
Yes, right, yeah. Gage, I'm sorry, we're canceling that show. Don't worry about it,
But and it's funny. I think we may have. I don't know if we talked about it last week here or what. But you take a guy like Howard Stern,
Yes.
who's 67, I think he is now.
Yes.
He can't do a lot of that stuff that he used to do in the 80s and 90s. Doesn't
Oh
he?
no,
Stuff.
he can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I like people always say that. Oh, he did blackface and everything, but that was at the time. You know what I
Right.
mean? It wasn't like
Right.
the furthest person in the world I would think would be a racist would be Howard Stern.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
never looked at. I think he brought more out in the open,
Yes.
by having the Klan guy on,
Right.
and having all those people who were racist and all that stuff, to show us that no, this is wrong, this is whatever.
Right.
So if it came to that, I'm like, this is total horse shit. You know,
Right.
that's bullshit. That's,
But the
But,
stuff with, like
the
strippers and the and
right. I mean,
porn
that's over.
stars.
It's over. It's done. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I
And
mean,
the-
like I
just
said,
do it
it's going to
now.
change. It's got to go on to something else. So you're
Right.
going to hear about
And I
Billy's
thought-
podcast on gardening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Billy's
And I thought
gardening.
about that with the comedy class because there were a couple of guys my age and older who were talking about porn and a slew of dick jokes. I'm like, I don't know if this works for these guys.
It comes off creepy when it
Exactly.
yeah,
that's
no,
my
especially
that's what I'm
jokes.
saying.
Yeah.
So,
But let them do that because it gets more stage time for us. Do you understand?
yeah, it's sifting them out.
sit there, they don't get my humor. That's right. We don't get your humor. I'm going to go up and do your time.
You're going to do one of the
But I mean,
bars.
that's what I'm saying. It's an evolution. It's, I think Ted Alexander explained it to me once. Comedy's like it just spins around, and we get to hold on to it for a little bit, and then,
Okay.
we'll end up being thrown from it. You know what I mean? It's just
Sure.
and it keeps changing.
Ted does a good
know.
job of evolving with stuff, even though he's like leans a certain way, like
Well,
politically.
Yes, well, but I've known Ted for years, and he's
Yeah.
always been
He's a good
funny,
guy,
just
funny guy,
unbelievable,
yeah.
funny as hell. And but I mean, that's what I'm saying. I know all these people that are just really, really great guys. Really funny, and and it's tough because a lot of them their careers didn't go the way that you would think that they would go. They're very funny. They're whatever, just the nature of the beast.
So you must be. You must be appreciative, though.
Of my time that I have on stage and stuff.
your time and
I
the
think it's
people you
great.
met. Yeah.
I think it's great. I mean, like
Right.
I can sit there and go,
we
I've
talk
met
about
so
all the
many
time,
podcasts.
just all the great people we've met.
Yeah,
here.
I mean, it's just tons of fun, and
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine how great it was by just doing an open mic and then going, what do I do from here? How do I get on here? How do I, you're emceeing, and then nobody knew who he was, but they were like, at Chuckles, Truson calls me and goes, what are you doing this week? I'm like, you open? I said, yeah, I'm open. He goes, all right, you're going to open up for Ray Romano.
Wow.
I didn't know who the fuck Ray Romano was.
Chuckles probably back in like the
Yeah, it was in the 90s.
mid-90s.
Yeah, sure.
And
Huntington,
fucking
right?
Ray
I used to love
just,
that place.
Yep.
so goddamn funny. And you're just so happy that he got what he got. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because he was supposed to be on radio news, and they kicked him off of that. And that's
Oh, I didn't know that.
Letterman said, you come up with a sitcom, I'll back it. And that's how
Oh,
Ray,
wow.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was like, so funny. And the thing that got me is that he was so clean.
Yes.
He didn't curse. He didn't, and that's the magic behind it. You're just like,
Yeah,
holy
absolutely.
crap, And then you're opening up for Jackie the Joke Man when he was with Stern, and sold out shows, and you're like, what the fuck? Where am I?
Right.
I gotta go unload a truck right now. There's nothing funnier than that. When I'm talking to Colin, will call me in the morning. I'm like, UPS just backed in. He's like, fuck you. But yeah, I'm very appreciative of everything
I
that
bet,
it, Tracy Morgan.
That's
it
got
was
to keep you
tons of
grounded.
fun.
One day you're rubbing elbows with some of these top comedians, and the next day you're unloading trucks.
Yeah, it is.
It
It's,
keeps
you
you
know,
like level headed.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean,
Plus, yeah, and you can't.
some of the guys would be like, "Oh my God," I don't go, "Oh, I can put that on my resume," You know what I mean?
and you have the old saying, right? You can't take it with you. So you look back, you had your full time, your real job,
Yeah.
so to speak. But you can't take it with you, but you have these great memories, these great times with all these
Oh, yeah, I mean,
fantastic people.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
It's amazing.
Pat Cooper, working with Pat Cooper was
that must have
absolutely
been
fucking
awesome.
hilarious. You know,
He's one of my
you know,
favorites.
you know? And he got my name wrong, but I didn't give a shit. You know what I
How
mean?
do
It's
you
like
get
I'm
Tim
working
Gage
with Pat
wrong?
Cooper. Jimmy Gage.
Jimmy
Let's hear for
Gage.
Jimmy Gage, the great, wonderful Jimmy Gage right here. You know, and fucking, I didn't give a shit. I was like, that's fucking Pat Cooper.
Yeah,
God
right,
damn it.
legend,
You know,
icon.
you know.
But if somebody else guess, like, let's just say,
I don't give a shit.
if I'm hosting your show and I say
I don't
Jimmy
give a
Gage,
shit
you're not
what
going
you
to punch
say.
me backstage.
You ask anybody when they ask me what am I going to say about you? Whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. Call me anything. I'm coming out.
I always
You know what
wondered
mean?
about that because I saw Downey do a show here once, and the host twice called him Chris Downey Jr. And I was sitting there wondering, like, I wonder if he's getting pissed backstage.
That's up to Downey or not. But I really, you know,
I
like,
didn't have, and I've never had the balls to ask.
well,
him how
I
he
mean,
felt
I've
about it.
fucked up so many introductions.
Oh, really?
Oh God, I'm horrible. I'm the worst MC in the business. All right. I mean, I really am fucking bad at times because I don't like go into the crowd and how you doing. Let's get ready and you know this next guy. I mean, I got yelled at because what the hell is his name? Damn it. Oh, Louis C.K.
Oh, okay.
I'm working with Louis, and I'm very excited. You know, Louis
course.
is big. So, Louis, do you want me to say anything? And he goes, please don't make a big deal out of it. Just bring me up. Okay. So I'm like, folks, ladies and gentlemen, Louis C.K. Place erupts. Fucking standing up. They're going crazy. Louis shakes my hand and goes, thank you very much. You're welcome. Get off the stage. The owner comes in. What the fuck kind of intro was that? This guy has done this. This guy has done that. You gotta build him up. And I'm like, that's what he wanted me to say. I don't care. You gotta. These people came out to see the great Louis. I'm like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? So like, if somebody says to do something, as long as it's, you know, like some people say read this or whatever, but I always somehow I fuck it up somehow. I forget where they were. What I mean, I forgot a name. Lenny Marcus. Are you familiar with Lenny Marcus? Him and
Yeah, I know the name.
Kevin Brennan had a problem with him. You know what I mean? They have a problem.
Everyone has a problem
So-
with everybody, doesn't he?
So I'm doing a show with Lenny Marcus and Jim Florentine,
Oh, nice.
and I'm the MC. And I'm like, I couldn't remember Lenny Marcus. I could not fucking remember his name. All I can remember is that he was a little nervous because his sister was out there. So I'm like, folks, I'm having trouble with the name, you know? I'm like, his sister's out there. Can you? I go, I know his sister's out here. Can you tell me the guy's name?
No.
My hand to God. My hand to God. This is how bad I am.
Wow.
So I hear the door open, and I hear Florentine going, fuck him! Fuck him! Don't tell him your name! Fuck him! And I start laughing on stage. And I finally remember it's Lenny Marcus. So I go, Lenny Marcus, right?
Oh my God, this is
And I
great.
thought Lenny was going to take my fucking head off, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So he gets off, and I'm like, I am apologizing. I'm like, Lenny, I am so sorry. He goes, you should have wrote it down or something. I'm like, I know, but I asked your sister what the fucking name was. She didn't tell me. He goes, I told her never to say anything to the comics.
All right, so now from a performance point of view, so if you're, you know, featuring or headlining, how important do you feel that the MC is, or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter.
No?
I mean, like, a lot of people ask me how to do it and everything. They're pretty generic. They'll go out, they say, welcome everybody to the club, and we're so happy to have you here, and the birthdays, and this, that, and the other thing. And I tell them, really, the MC has nothing. The MC just gets the crowd going, takes the bullet, find out, can I say fuck or not? You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So that's all I'm listening for is how the MC is in, you know, how the audience is responding to MC. And I always tell MC, if you do bad and the middle and the headliner do great, you've done your job. If you do good and the middle is good and the headline is good, you've done your job. If you do great and the middle and the headliner suck, you did not do your job.
okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, like, because the show is them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So
it's
would
really
you sandbag your act to make the
no,
No,
because
you can't do
because you
that,
can't do
right?
that because
Well, that's what I'm saying, you don't wanna
what you want to
outshine.
do is
Right,
no, but you want
right.
to you got to tell them bring your A game. You know what I mean? If you're
Right.
gonna fucking do this, I always like that. I don't like to go up after people who are. I'll go up after Otto and George. I'd do that any day of the week. It's hard, but it's like you learn a lot when you go up after Otto and
Yeah,
George because
follow
the
them
audience
back
has
like
had it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know, you learn. I'm going to try to do my stuff and see what happens. But you know, you don't want to go up after that. But I mean, like, you want to go up and have a good time. I mean, what did I do one time? Ted Alexandra. I saw him in the city at New York, Stand Up New York. And he went up and he just fucking destroyed the room. And I had to go home. And I'm kicking garbage bags in the city. This fucking shit. What the fuck? I'm doing stupid jokes and this motherfucker is destroying the thing. And, you know, and it really, you know, like that's, you're just like, what the fuck am I doing? Da 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 da. But then like 2 years later, we're at McGuire's and I come off the stage and Ted goes, I have to go up after this, you fucking scumbag. You know, and I'm like, sorry. You know, So, you know,
healthy competition. too.
yeah. You know,
See,
you
I
just
can't believe that at all because I would think that you would raise the energy of the room, like
And help support the.
yeah. Why would you
Right.
want to follow someone who isn't doing a great job? That because then they're
no. That's
you
what
know.
I'm saying. So you know, but that'll happen. You're gonna have people who are not really ready to do it, and a lot of times, MCs are people who are just starting out and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and it could be nerve wracking. If I can sense nerves, because like I said, I had the panic attack and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I'm like,
Right.
dude, whenever you're ready, call me. Just bring me up. Don't. If you feel it's not just bring me up.
Yeah.
We'll take it from there. Don't worry about
Don't
it.
be
You know.
nervous about it.
And that and people go, you shouldn't tell them that. They got to learn. And I'm like, no. That made me comfortable when people
Absolutely.
were like, dude, don't worry about it.
Right.
Just bring me up. I'll take it from here. You know what I mean? Because they knew you were starting out. You were like, listen, just
Right. It's nice to have
blow
that
your
safety
load and
blanket.
just we'll
Right.
take
Yeah.
it from here. So
That's what I want to do. I want an MC.
I think you'd be a good MC.
Yeah, I think you would be too. I do.
Yeah, I like it because it's like a canvas that it's white. You don't know what the hell that crowd's going to be like.
Right,
You don't know
exactly.
what's going to go on there, and you just go out there and you find out, and then you see where it goes.
Is there a difference between MCing a big show where you got like 7 comics versus a 3-tier show, like when there's the middle?
Yeah, you got to get up more.
Is it
right.
easy to get the crowd? working
No,
it out?
because I mean, if you have like 7 guys, you don't know who they are, so some of them are going to bomb. So you gotta know how to keep the flow going, and then when they bomb, you gotta kind of do a couple of
Recover
jokes and bring them up. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
And
that's.
do you acknowledge that? Do you
That
say
they
s-
sucked.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you, well, not that they suck. but-
I've done that,
yeah.
and one guy did it, and I didn't realize it hurt his feelings, but then he realized that. So what happened is that he bombed,
Yeah.
and I went up and said, "Guys, you never had a bad day at work. We all never had a bad day at work."
That's a great spin.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The guy was fucking furious. The comic was furious. And I came off the stage and I said, "Where's Joe?" And they were like, and I went up to him. I said, "It's not you. It's the fucking crowd."
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And like he was still pissed at me. And he goes, and a year later he came to me and he said, "You know how fucking pissed I was then?" And I was like, "I'm sorry." He goes, "No." It took me a while to realize that if you didn't think I was funny, you would never have said anything. You wouldn't have tried to make fun of it. You would have
Right.
just went on with the show.
Right.
But he goes, I realized that you think that I'm funny and that it was the crowd because you came to me. Because I've seen you do it with other people. You don't go to them. You don't do this. But to me, you brought me in like, you never had a bad day. But, like you
Right.
wouldn't do that to somebody who really stunk. You know?
And you're like, no,
So,
you really did.
Yeah.
That's
But that's hard too sometimes because like I'll be at 7-Eleven and they'll be like, "Oh, it's the comedy guy," and I'm like, "Did you have a good time?
yeah. Right.
Was I funny or was I talking about Michael Jackson dying in a fucking box and nobody laughed?"
Then he shows you he had one glove on and he's like a
Yeah, no,
he's
I was
like a
doing that.
stalker.
I did a whole thing like Father Joe was walking around. Somebody's putting this fucking glove on. I'm not fucking having this family die because this guy fucking did something.
Which one of you knows how to moonwalk?
Yeah,
Who's
that's
wearing the
fucking
glove?
yeah. Tito, I swear to God, I'll fucking beat you.
I'll set your hair on fire again, you fuck.
Just son of a bitch. But I thought it was funny at the time.
I think it's great.
Yeah, no, it was fun.
All right, we've been on for 2 hours.
Yeah, we gotta get going.
Yeah.
That was very quick, guys, but I loved it.
Yeah,
You are the man.
Yeah,
you are the
we
man.
love having
Tim
you
Gage.
in
is
here.
Tim.
Tim Gage,
Yeah,
everybody.
always a great time.
Thank
with
you guys.
pal.
No,
And we'd like to thank
thank-
Tommy Gooch, who walked by 5 times, didn't come in.
that's all right. Just hold that against him.
And
We will.
Marla.
Marla, yeah, she's working hard back there.
Joey,
she was
she's
wrong.
probably talking to Joey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, like the rest of us, we love Joey, and it sounds like he's out there now, killing it probably. Yeah, we thank Joey for coming in. That was an absolute blast. So much fun. So
2 inches of water is in my basement. That's fucking,
He just came
I
to
love that
vent,
shit.
let it all out, and then
I
he
love
was
that shit. There's
Yeah.
nothing.
and it's nice to know he's getting along with the new boyfriend.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, so that's the new one who does the video.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the video
Yes.
gamer.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll see you here next week.
Yeah, maybe. We don't know. I mean, they didn't put me up this week, so I always look at it like they're gonna call me back if it's time payback. The pay is
Right.
coming back.
There you go.
I didn't do a show this week. They're gonna call me next week.
As they should, when David Tell is here. What a great show that would be. David Tell and Tim Gage.
I've worked with him many a time.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Oh, he's great.
He came up to me one time. I was at McGuire's, and he's like, "Hey, Mr. Always Available, how are you? You on the show?"
That's great.
Oh, that's so funny. See, that's the stuff that.
Oh, it's just,
you know,
I
you see
mean-
the jokes,
but
that's
right, but I
actually
mean,
so
you know,
funny.
it also, I know David Tell. It's just, I mean, like, not
Yeah.
many people can say that. People
Right.
like, at work, they're like, you know him, and the Insomniac guy.
Right.
Yeah, I know the Insomniac guy.
Exactly. And for him to walk away from that show says a lot too. He just didn't want to be the Insomniac guy.
I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. But Comedy Central, has a tendency to lose good acts.
Yeah, it's
True
true.
indeed. That show was. I love that show.
Yeah.
And Tough Crowd, both those. That was when.
Yes,
Comedy
I don't
Central
know
was
what
at-
happened. I don't
yeah.
ever bring that up with Colin. I don't say, what happened? Tell me what
I heard it
happened.
With some
Tell me what
podcast, somebody
happened.
said you should bring it back. He goes, "Oh, you think so? You think I never thought of that? What a fucking groundbreaking idea!"
There's nothing worse than Colin throwing it right back in your fucking face.
Yeah,
It is
right.
fucking nothing because he does it all the time to me.
Classic. All right, we're gonna head on out of here. Saturday night. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us live from Governor's Green Room. We'll be back Monday morning. Sally and I will be back here at 11 a.m. Monday, and then you can see this guy Tuesday
Yes.
morning at 9:30, and then again Wednesday night at 7:30, and then come to the club see Tim Gage
Yes.
as always. And thank you, pal.
No problem, buddy. Anytime,
right.
guys. That was
The
a lot of
best.
fun.
All right, you guys have a great rest of the weekend. We'll see.